What's the motherfucking deal? Excuse me. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. Some phlegm or something in it. I don't know. The best conversation on the internet. And the reason why this is the best conversation on the internet, personally, I do believe, is because of you. So I thank you each and every night for allowing me the privilege to get to chop it up with you guys. I hope that you are having a magnificent, what is this? Is this Monday? Is this Monday? Damn. A magnificent Monday, and that everything is going well and in your favor. I thank you for joining me this evening. If you don't know, I am your host, Ed Honcho. And this is the Den Show. You can find me, my personal social medias, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow the Den on the proper social medias, you can go to facebook.com/the Den Show. You can go to @Den Show Live on Instagram and Twitter. Different platforms, same name, easy way to remember it. If you ever want to contact the Den, you can always call the Den line 833-284-3336. Even if the Den is not active, you can leave a voicemail, send a text message, send pictures, memes, whatever. However you want to get out. If it's just something you want to get to me, man, make sure you shoot it through the Den line. Or you can send it via email, denshowlive@gmail.com. If you want to tell a friend about the Den, tell them go to thedenshow.com. It'll take them to the channel page. If you want to tell them how to get directly to the live stream, tell them go to thedenshow.com/live. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the Den. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to make a one-time donation to the Den, you go to streamlabs.com/the Den Show. And make sure, I think there's like a thing there. Somebody said you got to be careful. Make sure you don't have that thing. There's some click that's like $5.99 for Streamlabs. Unless you want to do that, then I mean you can do that. But make sure you don't have that click, because I think it'll charge you extra $5.99. Just make sure you unclick it. But streamlabs.com/the Den Show. I appreciate everybody who has been supporting the channel since day one as we continue to grow and pursue this goal. If you want to make a monthly pledge to the Den Show, and appreciate, shout out to James Martin and Stina Starry-Eyed who have pledged some monthly love. You can go to patreon.com, the Den Show, and it'll take you to the page. There's multiple tiers there with multiple rewards for making a monthly pledge. You know, you can be a contributor, get your name in the credits on some of the shorter videos, whatever it may be. You know, patreon.com/the Den Show. I appreciate it. For those of you, we do have a trip planned to Vegas in November, like November the 8th, that weekend of November the 8th. If you're interested, you know, shoot me a text either via the Den line or reach out, you know, one way or another. I know we got a list of about 14, 15 folks. And so if you're interested in that, make sure you hit your boy up. Let's see who we have joining us this evening, and let's get into it. Let's talk about some things. We're having a conversation we've been discussing a little bit on the last couple of streams, but I said, hey, let's kind of dedicate a stream to it. Let's really get into it, because I want to hear everybody's opinion on this. So I see Rigo, Soul Better, Just Sarah, Professor Trio, Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? Bell Southern Style, Rashida Reed, Sweet Berry, Keisha R, Brian Bodie Calhoun, if you will. So I hope everybody's well. I hope you're all doing great this evening. But tonight we're going to talk about money and romance. We're going to talk about love and finance. We're going to talk about money and relationships, you know. How important is money to a relationship? You know, there's multiple aspects of it. You know, if both partners are working, is it important if, you know, the woman makes more than the man? If the man is the sole income of the household, should a woman be more submissive, or vice versa? If the woman is the sole bearer of bread breaking, then should the man be more submissive to her? I think that the bot ain't active. It should be. The bot should be live. What's going on, bot? You tripping? Let me see. It might be on some hoe shit. Let me see. It has been quiet for a second. Let me see what's going on. Hi, as soon as I put pimp, Heidi shows up. Interesting. For a real street stalker that can walk a green mile. Let me see what's going on with this. Well, the bot is tripping. Let's see what's happening here. It may be up to some shenanigans. Let us see. Hold on, give me 1 second to figure it out. Okay, there it is over there. Heidi McVice, what's the motherfucking deal? Like I said, I hope everybody's doing well this evening. What is it? Okay, come on, bot. What's up, bot? Okay, there we go. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. Like I said, we're going to talk about finances and relationships. So if one partner is the primary bearer of the bread breaking, should that person have, more command control in the relationship? When you're initially meeting someone, how important is money when dating? I think there's multiple elements to discuss when we're having this particular conversation. And I guess let's try this, maybe that'll work. I want to know how you guys feel. I want to know what you guys are thinking. So let's get into it. Me personally, and we've had some calls. We had a couple of calls last night that kind of addressed it. Since y'all was acting scared of the confessions, we ain't gonna get on that. We ain't gonna talk about that. But I don't have an issue if a woman makes more money. Okay, I don't think that should be a primary focal point. I know there are a lot of men whose egos get bruised by a situation like that. A lot of men who feel less than in situations like that. Now, I know there are a lot of women who prefer a man that makes more money, that they want the man to be the primary fundraiser. But I don't know. I think we live in a new day and age where a lot of things have changed. We talk about traditional stuff. We talk about traditional income, but I believe that, both parties should really be bringing in money. If you have goals, people talk about being power couples and things of this nature. I think that both parties should strive to, contribute to the household. But if one is doing well enough that, depending on if there's children or not, if there's no kids, then, get some money, let's build an empire. But if, there's children or there's other things involved, then, I think you got to make sacrifices on time and what's best, because say, you got somebody who's working a career and then somebody may be working a more menial job. And you're thinking about, well, I got kids and I'm putting them in daycare and I'm doing all this. Daycare is expensive. They say not most people, but there's a lot of people who pay the same amount in daycare as they do in rent. That's tough. Some people pay more. And that almost seems ass backwards. It almost seems to defeat the purpose. But, it's the way we live. Daycare is a good business, a lot of money in the daycare industry. So I think that you got to look at what's best for your situation. I don't think any two situations are the same. We talked about how women view things. Women naturally want to shoot high. They shoot up. They feel like they deserve the better man. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think everybody should aim high. But I don't know how many of you guys went and watched what I mentioned last night about that Roommates podcast with Rebecca Lynn Pope, and she talked about it. She's a matchmaker, and she talked about women who were doing well for themselves that wanted a particular kind of man. They wanted a man that was basically matching what they were doing with this. If they had multiple degrees and they had a quality career, that same man that they wanted in that situation without kids and everything else that went with it, generally didn't want them. And I found that to be odd. You would think, okay, well, maybe a man who's doing well for himself wants the same from a woman. And that's just not the case. It's actually prepaid. What's the motherfucking deal, man? And the thing is that those type of men would prefer a woman who's not doing as well, but is more attractive than a woman who may not be as attractive, but is, advancing her business, doing well with her finances or whatever else it may be. You're doing very well for herself. Again, I don't know if it's the male ego that, wants to be the dominant party, and he may feel like, well, she's doing all this, she's got her own, she's not necessarily going to need me or want to heed my advice or whatever else it may be. And a couple of days ago, we kind of briefly mentioned, and someone said, women who do well, women who have money and power, equals a bitch. Well. I don't know if that's necessarily the case in every situation, but a lot of situations I've seen personally, women who not only just making good money, but who may have a higher position in their field tend to be a particular kind of way. But now I don't know if this is natural. I don't know if this is a byproduct of them, having to compete with other men in their field to show that they're qualified. So maybe they have to put on a sterner approach to how they do things, and it may carry over outside of the job or whatever else it may be, So I think there's a lot of issues, You say, everyone knows my family think women should be aligned with being submissive. Man is the street at the head of the God family, even though I'm an aggressive figure. Okay, hey, I like soul better more every day. But, what they say is this, and again, like I said, I don't think every instance is like that. But women are less inclined to want to aim down. Because, I use the Tyler Perry movie reference, right? And it's always the chick doing well for herself with the husband who's doing good for himself. And he get to fucking around with the secretary. We can call it waiting to exhale or whatever reference you want to make. And she get done bad, she down bad, and the broke ass gardener start trying to show her some love and affection. She ain't fuck with that nigga because he ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, the mechanic wins or whatever the fuck his job is. The way they play it like that all the time. It's just it is what it is. So I think what you have to realize though is it's unfortunate. It really is. But being a man is an advantage. You know what I mean? It is. And you can say life's not fair. It's not. But it is an advantage because a man is generally perceived as he gets older, his worth goes up. A woman is generally perceived as she gets to a certain point that she either stagnates or perception of her value is not the same. There's always who was it who said that there's a draft? I think it was prepaid, or it might have been Trio who said that there's a draft every year. And it's a bunch of young chicks turning legal, and half of them signing up for Team Instagram, but that's another conversation. But now, that's not always the route to go, but I mean, there is always more competition. Not every man who's turning 18 is doing well for himself. There's always so much more you have to deal with. When you don't have a certain level of expectations for a woman, or society places a certain level of expectations on the man, there's certain things that you can get away with at a younger age that, men might not be able to get away with at a younger age, but there's certain things that men can get away with at an older age that women may not be allowed to get away with. There's you prepaid already. At an older age. Cartier, what's the motherfucking deal? Jet Sarah, what's the motherfucking deal? Fuck being submissive. Well, I mean, everybody has a position that they like to play. Some people want to be the point guard. Some people want to be the center. Some people come off the bench and, they score. But my thing is this, should women who are doing more financially stable for themselves, should they change their expectations? Should it be expected of them to think, who was it, Harvey, with the think like a man? Should a woman in that situation think like a man? You know what I mean? And by that I say that if men are more willing to go and find a woman who is not necessarily on par with them, a reference was made about, the woman believes that she could be the secretary, but she believes she has access to the CEO. But the man, he can be the janitor. He's not going to get with a lawyer or whatever she may be in the firm, or whatever it may be. So should women who are doing well for themselves start thinking like a man in that sense, to go find a man who may not necessarily be in that same position, who may be doing things for himself, is trying to build himself up, and be encouraged to, help him get on his feet and become something? Would that bode well? Or would that bode better for women who are in power positions? Because, I mean, that would be the idea of thinking like a man. I understand that you feel like you've done all your work, you want something that equates, but, experience shows that men who have that same, who are on that playing field with you, don't necessarily want those kind of women. This was a woman who said these things, okay? And so that's what you got to understand. So it's not me saying, not me hating. This was a matchmaker. That's what she did. She had some high-level clients. And, she talked about that. She said, the women who are doing really well for themselves, well, they want a man with the same level of degrees, same level of education. They want the man to, not have any kids. He needs to be tall. So women set their expectations much higher. The men primarily just wanted a chick with a big old ass. You know what I mean? And that's basically what it was. Does she look good? the appearance. It wasn't a text. Let me see. The text should be. I don't have the. Let me open up the dilly dally, so I can have the text on. But you know, again, so it's a different standard. What men want and what women want are completely different. Men are very simple. Men are extremely simple, and women are a bit more complicated. I think we can all agree with that, even though women ain't gonna say, no, we're not, you know, but y'all is. Y'all are definitely extremely complicated. Ah, yes. Interesting. Now this one I remember. I remember this one here in particular, and I'm gonna share this picture too. This one in the middle with the things. It says, if I spend money on you, it's not because I got it like that, but I got you like that. Interesting. And another one here. So Trilla sent in a couple of things, and I guess these are from, some of these are posted by women. It says, stop calling men broke because they can't afford to buy or give you things that you can't afford yourself. Isn't that very interesting? That is a very, very interesting thing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of women who say, if you can't buy me this purse, you can't buy me. A lot of these IG thoughts, that's what it is. If you can't give her something she can't afford herself, you know, then it is what it is. I've seen motherfuckers talking about on Twitter with Cash App me this. It's my birthday. I want to go out to eat, or I want to go this. If you can't do that, you ain't shit. But if you can't get it yourself, are you not shit yourself? How does that work? And this is what I mean by the double standard between men and women. But I'm gonna come back to that picture. I'm gonna post that one up in a minute. But my thing is, and it's not to just to talk about the separation, but we want to talk about how important it is. Is money more important to women in a relationship than it is to men? Now, I know the importance of men is like, hey, you know, if this is a family situation, if it's a marriage, I need to be able to take care of my significant other. I need to be able to take care of my children. This is my duties as a man. But when we're talking about dating, if we're talking about just relationship, does a man go out looking for a woman and say, well, she got to have this, she got to have that, she got to be a certain height? I think a man is more willing to compromise. I'm not saying women don't compromise, but I think a man is more willing to compromise. Is that ass big? What them titties look like? Okay, she cute in the face. I could work with this. She may not, may not have all the junk in the trunk, but I think men are more malleable in their opinions, than women. Women want the what's his name? Prince Charming, and that's their goal, that's their vision. Men, they want a good-looking woman. I don't think they want the Cinderella, but they want a woman that they can work with and I guess won't break them too bad. Some niggas want a trophy wife. It just depends. I think there's variety in everybody. But I'm just throwing it out there because I want to know what you guys feel. I want to know what you guys think. I've been spilling my spiel for long enough. I'm opening up the line here shortly. And I'm going to share this picture here in just a second because I want to know what y'all think about this one in particular. But while I'm doing that, let me. Oh, actually, let me do this first. But women, I want you to call and explain. I want to know what you think. And again, I don't think it's anything wrong if you want a man to be in a certain financial position. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody's entitled to what they wish. Does it always come true? Not exactly. All right, so that's a big fucking picture. So let's fix that. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna post this picture up real quick, and I want to know what y'all think about it. I'm gonna open it up and read it just in case. I don't know what size it'll be when I show it. Now remember this. I don't know how many of you've seen this, and you might not be able to read it all that well. So I'll read it out loud to you guys. For those of you who can't see, because the writing may be small, I may try to make it a little bit larger. And what it says on the left side. And I'm really trying to figure out, these are a bunch of lies. This is, if you're spending this much a month, then you wonder why you got issues. So she says her rent, or bills due soon, on the left side. It says rent, $29.95. $3,000 a month is what she says her rent is. Car note, $600 a month. Light bill, basically $300 a month, $287. Gas bill, $178. Water bill, $187. Cable, $210. Trash, $45. Cell phone, $500. Right. Insurance, $200. Grocery, $400. Toiletries, $100. Miscellaneous, $300. This is why I don't get what you do in text. I wonder why. Because, anyway, we'll get to that. So, the man on the right says, please explain where the hell do you live? That's $3,000, basically. Did Radio Raheem give you his jewelry? Number 3, how is your house $3,000 and the light bill is only $287? Right? Does your HVAC unit burn 93 gas? Do you have a pool and a jacuzzi in each room? That's a high-ass water bill. Cable, $210. So you got NFL Sunday ticket in March, right? Trash bill, $45. What in God's name did you throw away? A body. And number 8, $500 cell phone bill. Who you got? Alltel. I sent you a what you doing text because I'm trying to help you with your math, sis. But again, these are some of the rational. If these are her bills, one, she's already making piss poor decisions, right? Because there's no way that ain't no fucking way. But I want to know what y'all think about that. Appreciate Professor Trill for sharing that. But let's open up this line, man. Let's see how y'all feel. Let's see what's on your mind. Let's see what y'all thinking. Wow, there's a number. Use it. Don't be afraid. Deadline bill already paid. Let's talk about it, man. I want to know how y'all feel, man. I want to put a voice to some of these comments. I want to know what y'all thinking, man. I need to know what's really shaking. Let me see what y'all talking about in this chat. You know, my thing is this, right? $3,000. Where are you living? Let me tell y'all, man. When I was a different type of person, I had a little, we'll call it a trap. I used to call it the drive-through. I'm not gonna go into details. Had a shitty ass landlord. Now, we'll go take this call and we'll come back to it. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
It's your boy Prepaid.
Prepaid? What's the motherfucking deal, man? Ain't heard from you in a minute. How you been, man?
Just been in jail, the usual, nothing major.
Okay. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Rashida, stay out of my business.
What's on your mind, man? How you feeling about this topic this evening, Prepaid?
Well, shit, after old girl posted all her bills, I'm gonna start complaining about my wife, cause shit. Shit. $186 water bill. Let me tell you something right now. Hey man, I'm monitoring all showers around this bitch. I ain't paying $186 on the water bill.
What?
Y'all, we had a problem with the septic tank and it wasn't 186 like that. Ain't no way.
No.
Ain't no way. I don't know. She must be making up bills or some shit.
Oh, I believe she is.
Oh, she must be bundling them bills with her friends or something. They got a bundle package or something. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't want no parts of that shit. But I'll say this, man. Dating and marriage are two different things.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, fellas. For any of y'all who are dating, be selective as possible. Like, find out everything you know about this woman before you get anything long term. Because I don't know if a girl is lying about her bills, but there are a lot of women who have a lot of baggage. And women, I'm sure y'all gonna say there's a lot of niggas with a lot of baggage, and I understand that. I get it. You can call in and give your own personal experience. I'm talking about it from a male perspective. Fellas, let me tell y'all something that's gonna really help y'all out in the future. You dating a woman, you kind of like the woman, you find her attractive. Because with men, everything is such about the physical attributes. We just visual people. She look good. She got that ass on her. You find yourself trying to keep her around, whatever the case may be. Find out about her assets. Find out about her credit score. Because if you decide to marry this woman and she got that 505 credit score, well, now y'all got a 505 credit score because you take on all her debt. So you need to put that in perspective. And fellas, I'm gonna say this, man, because a lot of y'all do this shit and it makes me mad. I got homeboys be like, man, I had no idea she was bad with her money, man. The bitch is terrible with her money. I don't even like being around her. You've seen all the signs already. If she get paid on the 1st and she calling you on the 5th to give her $500 for her rent, she fucking her money up. If every time you seen her, she got on the newest designer, Balenciagas, whatever the case may be, and then she asks you for gas money, this is a person you can't build with. Now, I'm not saying don't fuck her. By all means, keep hitting her, because it's obvious it's good to keep her around. But don't be hitting her naked head. Don't have no baby with this person.
Don't do it.
Because it's obvious this person ain't gonna do right. Now that's from a dating perspective. From a dating perspective, money is a very big thing, because when you're dating, fellas, you know you pay for every fucking thing. I ain't never heard of a nigga go on a first date and ain't pay for the first date. Or probably the first 5 to 10 dates. And I mean, truth be told, if you want to be taken serious out here, if you ain't paying for these dates, ain't no females gonna really show you no. They ain't gonna take you serious. At least I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll say this: be selective when you taking them. Don't be taking none of these females to no fine dining restaurant if they ain't never been to one. Let these hoes experience that on their own tab. They ain't finna go in here and run up this big ass tab and can't pronounce none of this shit. Do shit that's gonna bear fruit, bruh. Do shit that's gonna bear fruit. Now, you were talking about the topic as far as should a man, do men care about women who make more money? I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't give a shit about that.
Right.
Truth be told, if you get a woman who's making great money, y'all should be trying to build something together. So that shouldn't matter. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. Now, when y'all get married, and every married person will tell you this, you don't control shit no more anyway. So you got to go with the flow.
Okay.
So as long as you dating, you're in control. You know what I'm saying? You can make rules. You can get rid of them. You can cancel them. Whatever the case may be. When you get married, my nigga, that shit out the window. You don't control none of that shit no more, man. That shit over with. All you trying to do is be happy and make it to where, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to just run away from your wife. You know what I'm saying? I know you heard about the dude in Florida who was on a high-speed chase.
Nah.
The cops asked him why he was gone. He said he didn't want to come home to his wife, man.
Oh, man. They should have let him go in that case. Shit. Go ahead.
They should, but the thing about it was, Honcho, if you let him go, he got to go home. He didn't want to go home. He said, nigga, take me in.
Yeah, that's wild.
This shit was wild, bro. Florida's a different state, bro. I think we need to chop that bitch off and give it to Cuba or something, because that is some wild shit going on in that state, boy.
Man, you heard about the chick pulled the alligator out of her pants? Got pulled.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? See, certain shit just shouldn't be happening, bro. It just shouldn't be happening, bro. Wild shit, yeah, man. But that just my spill on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't have any intimidation when it comes to like a woman making more money than me. I don't give a shit. Like I never cared. It was very rare that a woman made more money than me. My last real relationship before I got with my old lady, my ex-girlfriend was a cardiologist. That was some terrible shit there, because she was just trying to control a nigga. She was trying to just do too much. For my birthday, she bought me a presidential Rolex. I just knew shit had went too far. I was like, I can't have it.
So that's
my
the point
21st
right
birthday.
there.
I can't have it.
On your opinion on that, so if you've encountered a couple of women who've made more money than you and they doing well for themselves, would you say that they're more controlling as a whole with your experience, or some people say quote unquote bitchy?
Oh, most definitely. Like I put in the chat, I will never date a woman in the legal field. Well, the hoes in the legal field are the worst. They feel like because they doing good for themselves, they making money, they feel like the rules don't apply to them and that every man should be chasing behind them. And that's not how it works, because physically, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Correct. Now, you might be a beautiful person and you make great money, so a nigga can put you on that pedestal, but bitch, you ain't built like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't like Paula Patton, no shit like that. You okay. You more of a Viola Davis type looking woman. You can't really just be out here just controlling, demanding shit. You ain't built like that. Now, the cardiologist, her problem was that she was 15 years older than me. So she was trying to have them babies. She wanted to, you know what I'm saying, trying to speed the process up and trying to buy a nigga. I was like, oh, hell no. This bitch got me bent. And like I said, you buy somebody a presidential Rolex, that's a gift you get when you retire. That's not a gift you just give somebody. It's like if somebody bought you a Corvette, you'd be like, I like the Corvette, but this is supposed to be something I'm driving when I'm 60. That's some shit I drive when I made it. I haven't made it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just personally how I view it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, as far as her as a woman, she was a great person. It was just one of the things to where she needed to be with somebody who was 36. not somebody who's 21. I wasn't ready for that at 21. So that's just my personal opinion. So if y'all have better successful women who make a lot of money, hey, best of luck to you. But from my experience and working around them, no, thank you. Fuck no. I'd rather not.
Already. You know, now I know not to encounter no lawyers if she say she work in the legal field, and make sure I avoid it at all costs. But yeah, that's it. Anything else you want to add to that, prepaid?
Hey, that's it, man. Y'all boys be blessed.
Already, prepaid, man. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Already. Man, shout out to prepaid. He always hold it down. Y'all give me 1 second. I got to take a quick pause. Look, y'all know it. Give me like not 1 second, like a minute and a half. And I will be right back in 2 shakes of a Scotty's tail. Only get one intro. Man, you know what I found out today? Man, the whole time, like the last few months, because I got some new lighting and shit, probably earlier in the year, maybe towards the end of last year, I done had that shit backwards the whole fucking time. Like the entire time. I just discovered it like right before the Soft Sports stream today. I'm like, goddamn. No wonder it was looking crazy. It looks a little bit better. I still got to tweak some stuff, but like, yeah, the entire fucking time, man. All right. Look, I had to, you know, look, I've been drinking a bunch of water. You feel me? And my problem when I drink water is I drink it the whole cup at a time. So like I think it's like what, a 24-ounce cup. So I'm finna drink that bitch all. Like I don't sip, I drink. You know what I'm saying? So you know, there's that. But what's the motherfucking deal to everybody? So okay. So the guys talk about King of the Castle. Nah, just only leaked out a little bit. Nah, I ain't leak it out. Look, I don't need the pens just yet. But and I'm gonna still keep drinking my water. See, look, I used to think I wanted to be George Clooney and shit. You know, I thought he had the game plan, but he ended up fucking up, letting us all down. I thought he was gonna hold it down, you know, to the end of time. That motherfucker ended up fucking up too. He ended up, you know, biting the bullet. Goddamn. But again, let's see what y'all in here talking about. What y'all in here saying? Talking about, on the water bill thing, man. Yeah, I was telling you, I had a little trap one time, allegedly. And man, in this spot, I had these shittiest ass land. Like it was all fucked up. I felt like, cause it was at a little small apartment, like a little quad or whatever, little, you know, duplex, like a little 2-story duplex looking deal. And like I had like a leak in my room. Like I had $300-$400 fucking water bills. Now, I wasn't tripping on it. No, I was tripping on it. I was fucking tripping on it. No, let me correct that. I was fucking tripping on that shit. But like I told the bitch, man, you gotta come figure, I don't know what it is. I was like, nah, you know what the fuck it is. Something in this bitch is fucked up. I'm calling this bitch my fucking roof leaking to people. I'm like, am I paying everybody's fucking water in this bitch? Like, how the fuck is this working? You know, I'm like going down this motherfucker. This shit would happen. Like, it should happen for like 4 or 5 months in a row, man. And it got to the point where I had to like start kind of stiffing that bitch. Like, bitch, if you don't come check on this shit, I ain't fucking paying no rent. I'm paying rent to the goddamn water company. I ain't gonna pay no rent over here. Now, like I said, I wasn't tripping on it because it wasn't fucking nothing. No, I just ain't want to pay that much. I shouldn't have been paying that fucking much. But, you know, you know, like I had to fucking, look, man, you gotta get over here and fix some shit. So when I ain't paid that rent, then she finally showed her ass and said, well, I'm looking for the rent. Well, shit, I'm looking to figure out what the problem is with the motherfucking water. Like, come on, man. Like, we gotta get this shit right. But here's the thing, though. That's a very good point you make there, Bill. How many women are still treating men like kings? And I know this is a different topic. We're gonna definitely cover this one day, too. But, you know, nah, shit, honey, let's get married. You got everything I need already. You know, just get you, we're gonna get you some of that Marley weave. You know, get you a tan. We'll say you, what they call that shit? Blackfishing. What do they call that shit on Twitter? Where the motherfuckers, they get all tanned up and they say they mixed or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Look, you can just take care of everything. While you go solve the world's problems, you know, I'll hold down the fort. How about that? Nah, I don't think it's a thing, man. But like I said, because I think relationships, essentially, there's supposed to be some type of teamwork going on. Like I don't know. Like I don't see the whole you do everything for me, I do everything for you. Like we're supposed to be a team. Like we got, you know, it's supposed to be us against the world type shit. We gotta make some shit shake. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pick you up where you weak at, and then you catch me where I'm weak at, and then we have a strong foundation. But you got a lot of people who want to jump on the pre-built empire. You got a lot of people who want to, you know, just kind of coast along. I don't you know, I don't know about that. Like, I don't want to get on anybody program that already got everything together, you know, because then, you know, you're expendable. And then I don't want to be the one, you know, dragging somebody along while I'm trying to figure some shit out, trying to build my whole shit, you know, trying to get my game going. But it's like, you know, and I'm not complaining about my girl. I'm extremely happy. I talk a lot of shit. I fuck with y'all, but nah, as far as my current relationship situation is solid. But I'm just, you know, I think about things and it's just like, hey man, there's a lot of people who are very unhappy out there. Yeah. Hispanic, is that a thing? I don't know. You know, and so let's get on that. That's what I want to know. And I was asking some of the ladies. So here's the deal. If the man is taking care of everything, the woman doesn't have to work, she doesn't have to want for anything. Me and Miss Rashida were having a conversation about this late last evening on the stream. I want to know how the other ladies feel though. You know, I want to know how the other ladies feel. If a man is taking care of everything, should you be more submissive in your household? Yeah, you should know that, Heidi. Maria told you were white. Take the hammer out of my hand. Woman takes the hammer out of my hand, she gonna get her hammer back, all right. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation too. So you're saying that if a man is white people say Hispanic, black people say white. What does Maria say? What does Maria say? That's what I need to know. Prepay my memory of shit. That's the problem I have. It's like it's familiar, but I couldn't tell you where it's from. It's like I say, it's like one of those things I have like a vague image in my mind, but I can't even tell you where it's from. And that's something I need to work on. I talk about all this shit I gotta work on my memory because it is terrible. Donna Flame brain injury diary. I started talking about my memory and he got a brain injury diary pulled up. Man. Okay. I mean, especially when it comes to movies, I'm super bad with movies. TV shows a little bit better with movies. Yeah, I'm super bad. Only movie I might be able to remember some shit from probably Life and Friday and Don't Be a Minute. That's all I got left. Donna, how you doing? Good evening. Glad you could join us this evening. But Sarah, she's Mexican, I'm Martian, and my Hispanic to U.S. purpose. Look, I told you. Where is Maria at when you need her? God damn it. Out there doing Canadian shit. Maria will tell you exactly what you are hiding. But that's what I'm saying though. But my thing is this. So women feel like that you shouldn't, even if your man pays all the bills, takes care of everything, you want for nothing. You basically essentially get to be a housewife. So a woman shouldn't be more submissive to her husband in that case. As far as, well, I ain't gonna say it like that. They'll be thinking I'm talking about a fucking puppy or some shit. But I'm just saying, just making things, his transition from the workplace to the home, as smooth as possible, things of that nature? Or is that no longer a thing these days? I know Miss Rashida, she said she ain't having it. She said, if a nigga get home from work, she gonna punch him just to let him know shit ain't sweet around here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just curious. I want to know, I want to know what the modern woman feels. I want to know what the image is. And I wondered because we talk about traditional situations and it seems like most women still want part of the traditional. And what I mean by that is they still want the man to be the money earner and all of those things, but now they don't want to be the more submissive, or what you would call submissive. And I don't think submissive is a bad word. I think submissive is actually a very powerful thing. But if people look at it and they think of it as bowing down and doing all this other shit, it is not that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think people get confused. I think that's where people get it twisted. They think of submissiveness as a bad word, but it's not. It really is not. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of anything. But yeah, to the modern woman, most women do. They think it's you cussing. They rather you call them a bitch than say she's submissive. Like that's how. Look, let these rappers start talking about some submissive. It's over with. Everybody's career over with. You start talking about you can talk about a project chick. You can talk about any kind of chick. You start talking about I want a submissive chick. They gonna cancel your career. Twitter coming for your ass. Yeah, I think James Charles got ruined. Shit, let a rapper talk about a submissive chick. This game over with. Let me say, no woman should be more submissive just because he pays all the bills. She should be herself. Okay. Very interesting. Interesting. It says submissive is not bad as long as the man is good. So we have different views on that. And that's why I say, because we talk about traditional. And the traditional housewife was submissive. But, you know, like I said, I see a lot of women want the tradition, but they don't want the submission, you know? And so I don't think that if women aren't willing to accept that role, regardless of what role the man accepts, I think those traditions are going to continue to go out the window. Because even just like Mike just said, once you get married, you know, women they basically hold the ball in their court. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see where a man wins in marriage. I saw, who was it said that today? Michael Shea said marriage is for poor people. He said, he's like, basically marriage for men is a gamble. And you're making a bet that you say, I won't cheat on you I bet you half my shit that I won't cheat on you for the rest of my life. That's basically what it is for, that's what it is. Yeah, prepaid call did. What's the motherfucking deal, Beyond, man? Okay. He said, all that child care, the maid service, secretarial service that are non-paid. Now, add up all the non-paid that still need to. But my thing is it technically, does it count as child care if it's your own kid? You know? So, you know. Say women should still allow the man to be the man. Women hate you for saying such. Okay. And that's why I say, and that's why I say nowadays, and again, I'm not trying to make this a whole man versus woman thing. I think, again, in the end, you know, we want to see every side, every perspective of stuff, you know. And I think that we need to have these conversations. We need to exchange these type of topics. All right, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we have calling in to the den this evening? Hello.
Honcho, I ain't gonna hold you long. This prepaid.
Already. What's the motherfucker?
But I gotta say this. I hate the whole idea of traditional weddings and traditional roles and shit like that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you the reason why.
All right.
When it's time to get married, you're supposed to spend, what is the little saying? What you supposed to spend? Three paychecks on the wedding ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to give her this wedding and doves and shit flying and all flying around and all these flowers and shit.
Yeah.
A traditional wedding, her father's supposed to pay for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Your daddy ain't got no money, but you got all these fucking rules and aspirations and shit for me. Okay. The traditional, when you have a honeymoon, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your close family and friends and in-laws are supposed to pay for y'all honeymoon. A lot of people don't know that because that's tradition. Yeah, when you get married, niggas be giving you $30 and $40 and shit in an envelope. You ain't finna go nowhere with $200. Y'all be lucky to get a hotel for the night.
What?
So I hate that whole idea of tradition because none of this shit applies. The shit applies when it's time for me to spend my money, but when it comes to the wedding and us having actual like marriage, none of the traditional shit stays in place. Another thing that bothers me, and right before I called in, somebody said a woman should allow a man to be a man. And traditionally, men were allowed to be men, but not anymore. Like now, if you're the breadwinner and you come home and pay all the bills, they're gonna tell you that you're misogynistic if you feel like food should be cooked for you when you come home. Well, you don't have a fucking job. What the fuck have you been doing all day? I know successful men whose wives are stay-at-home wives, and they got a motherfucking nanny or they got a damn housekeeper. What if we have a housekeeper? What the fuck are you doing all day? If the housekeeper cleaned the house up and the nanny had the kids, what was you doing? Sitting around ordering shit offline, drinking Chardonnay all fucking day? Ain't no way, bro. And I get it. So many men who are successful go get these young hoes. They look good, you know what I'm saying? They love to chase a skirt because they look good and they feel like, you know what I'm saying, if they had the money success, they couldn't have these type of women. And I get that. Yeah. To me, them hoes are worthless.
Yeah.
If you're at home and you don't cook nor clean up and you've been here all day, listen, I'm not saying you got to have Thanksgiving dinner cooked on a fucking Wednesday, but damn, bitch, you ain't cooked nothing? We ain't got no fire under the pots? I'm not doing that. I'm not finna work all day, pay all the bills, come home and you tell me on the way home so I can pick up something to eat. Oh, no. I ain't gonna never come home. I'm gonna just go immediately go cheat.
We was talking about that last
I'm headed
night.
to go cheat.
We talking about if you
I ain't even finna eat nothing, Honcho. I'm finna eat nothing. I'm finna go cheat for the rest of the night. I ain't coming back. Divorce me. Who gives a shit? You can have. So what? You still gonna be broke. You ain't got no life skills. Like okay. Prime example, Honcho. If you take off work and your old lady at work, it's a little one at school. If you've been at home all day, you done been there, cooked and cleaned up. You gonna cook something before she get to the crib. Yeah. It may not be what she want to eat that day, but she gonna cook something. Yeah. I'm not coming home to that. I'm not coming home to that. I'm not coming home to that. If my wife tell me that this was going on, I'm gonna leave all my shit there and go cheat. I'm gone. I'm going to the brothel, wherever. Look, I'm going to some strip club where they serving wings or something. I'm finna go get me some wings. I'm finna go ahead and cheat, baby. I'm finna go buy me some cat. That's just me, though. I'm just telling y'all what I would do. That's just.
So you ain't paying more than $59.99 though, right?
I'm pulling a Robert Kraft. You see they keeping the videos. Hey, they keeping them. Shit, $59.99 plus tax. Shit, might put on a credit card. File my taxes, a charitable contribution. That's just me. Y'all be blessed.
Already prepaid, man. Man, shout out to prepaid, man. Always with some heat on the call, man. But that was my thing, though. We were talking about too last night, okay? We talking about submission. So say the woman says she don't have to do anything, she shouldn't have any expectation. She can do what she wants to. So we talked about, say this man works hard. People got them work wives and work husbands and all that weird shit. I don't believe in that type of shit, but it is what it is. And say that work wife get to bringing him that home cooked meal every day. You ain't making him a lunch. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. You, like you say, tell him to go pick some stuff up. Can you blame him for wondering if the grass is greener on the other side? If she working and cooking and doing all this stuff, can you blame that man for having a level of curiosity? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
This so better.
Oh,
I'm talking to the caller. I'm talking to the caller this man. Wait. How? See, this is what you get. Because he was the person, and I agreed with him at that point in this conversation where he was saying that, you ought to have a standard, a level, pick, this, you don't go get this. Why would you marry if you married somebody who wasn't cooking for you every day? She wasn't cooking for you before you got married. That don't make no sense. Why would you want a female like that? Why would you even take her on as your mate to go out into the world and be at home cleaning up like she's supposed to? You got us where she too cute, or she thinks she too much, or come from a household where this is a popular thing that's going on in society today. I don't even know where people come from like this, especially no female. Look, my people from Mississippi, like I said, I got some old folk ways. Look, ain't no way. Why would, to hell with a relationship, I would not clean my house up and have my home presentable. You know what I'm saying? You're representing yourself in the dating process, and then you marry somebody who's in your household, not cooking. You going out there, you winning the bread, you bringing it home, and she not cooking and cleaning. You shouldn't even want to lay with her. Her woman who got anything to her, she's willing to even just even outside of a marriage, just on her own. She ain't cooking and cleaning in her house. Something right. Where y'all getting these females from? Why would you even want her? If he was
they getting mass produced. What you mean? They mass producing them kind of females now. They
loving them, but that's the one they taking care of. Except that girl is at home cleaning up her household. You know what I'm saying? I see that around my way. You know what I'm saying? It's like the female with the nastiest house. That's where everybody be at. Everybody's chilling over there. That's the spot. That's where just everybody be. But that's what society pick on today. You know what I'm saying? They accept that. They want that. Why would you even date a woman? I wouldn't even want to sleep with a woman. Like you saying before, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even want to sleep with this woman to protect yourself, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, have a standard to yourself. Why would you even want to lay down with a woman in a house filthy? Nasty. She ain't cooking. She ain't got the mindset to cook a meal, put a meal on the stove. You're going to be at the restaurant eating out all your life with her. She can't cook. and y'all love these hoes who can't burn water. You love them. You love them to death. It's just like, where they come from, and y'all accepting them, it's cool with you, so don't get mad at yourself. Because like I said, in order for you to have married her and put her in that house, for her to not do nothing to lay up on her ass all goddamnly long, and she cool with it for herself, and us being a wife and supposed to be doing these things in the household, man, come on. If that's what you like, that's what you like. So don't get mad with her.
Okay,
Because
so
I bet you she sure was doing it when y'all was just dating, when y'all was just tired.
Now, Miss
When you
Soulbed,
first
I
went
got a
by her
question,
house,
though.
it was nasty over there.
I gotta
But you
cut you
got
off
your
for 1
ass in
second.
that bed anyway.
I gotta cut you off for 1 second. Now we ain't gonna talk about her. We gonna talk about you. Now I hear that accent, and I when I hear it, every time I heard it, I've been meaning to ask you: can you cook gumbo?
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's all
I got my family, and people, look, they still gumbo for me.
Damn, that's fucked up.
They still gumbo. So I'm serious. A few Thanksgiving today, I had her aunt come to my house, and she wound up leaving, but her stuff was in my house, and she had put it in the bedroom. I went in there, and I happened to kick. I was like, oh, man, Auntie. When she got back, and I was like, Auntie, I think I broke something in your bag. I was going in the room, and I kicked it. I said, I think I broke something. Go up in there, she got containers inside the containers inside, more containers inside. I'm like, what all that stuff? Girl, nothing. And I promise you, she still got past me. When I say, look, I had to serve many, I had a nice little bit of gumbo, you know what I'm saying? I had maybe just cut into half my pack. Yeah. Man, look, she turned around, look, all I know is she went out the door. My gumbo was gone. My gumbo was gone.
That's fucked up. I can't even trust your own family around the gumbo. I need to. You have to email me some of that.
You had it, that little receipt, like straight up, took my gumbo. Still, they be stealing from me. Well, can I have a little something? I just want to take a little something to go home. No, baby, not this. I'm done. I used to call them serious. I didn't put my foot down because it didn't happen to me too many times. I done got hit. And they maneuver together. I'm serious. My own family. They maneuver together. My auntie and her kids. They maneuver together.
Yeah, that's best stuff. You gotta keep them.
You know what I'm saying? All that little pull off, this here where he had bring up in here, bring up in the room, you know what I'm saying? While she fixing the gumbo, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, that's they plotting on your pot. That's bad business right there. That's real bad.
He gotta not do that. They gotta find better women. Don't accept that. Come on, why you must drop your standards even as a man? You should be picky on that level. I was agreeing with him. It's not like you just take on any old thing. You just do on any old thing. What man won't go live in a house with a female who ain't cleaned her house? You don't think she nasty?
Do you think it's more than women out there? You think it's more than women out there because they spend their time on the scene as opposed to keeping their house clean? Because the woman that's keeping her house clean, doing all the right stuff, she ain't got the time to just be out and about, all on the scene. But the one who don't give a fuck about the house, she just gonna go out, she gonna wake up, get out there, and be striving for some attention. So do you think is that why more men are seeing those kind of women as opposed to the women who are actually taking care of business because they're busier women?
I mean, in Burger King, they tell you they do it your way, but now you got to go in that motherfucker and eat. They still got other places to go yet. You know what I'm saying? Look, I would just say, if you got a standard, you got a level. I mean, in my mind, everybody should. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never said to something or someone, and you're still, in my mind, a dude, and you're still shit. I'm like, what? Boy, what's wrong with you? You don't went up in that house, and this girl got buku babies. Who I'm talking about? This girl got buku babies. Who I'm talking about? Different niggas and everything. And a nigga stay in her house, and when I tell you, she one of them females that'll step out of her fucking drawers. You heard me? You heard me? Step out of her drawers and leave her fucking underwear right the fuck there. You heard me?
No, that ain't what's happening.
The last time she took a bath was a bitch bath, and she doing it again. And out the door she goes. If she holler, if a nigga holler at her, bam, this going down. Back at her house, they gone. And nigga love this bitch. You heard me? Yeah, they love this hoe.
Man, niggas ain't turning down.
That's the kind of women they want now. So don't complain when you got a bitch that's been to lay up on her ass all motherfucking day long while you going here to look at a fucking snake for the, for the house. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? You doing to take care and to provide. And you got this kind of bitch at home. You accepted this bitch, you still loving this bitch, you ain't gonna just do you. So yeah, I can't get mad with her. You hear me?
Yeah.
You banging your own motherfucking head. You putting yourself through issues and shit. You know is a problem. You matter of fact, you accepted it from day one. So really, you can't complain about her or say nothing about her. Go back to that shit we was talking at first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This man, y'all can't be fucking on anything. Man, y'all gotta use women. Y'all have to do everything and protect yourself. Yeah, that let me think you got a whole standard. You know what I'm saying? You got a mind frame on you. Just not know anything. I'm not gonna pick my dick down anything. But here you go. Here you go. Now you just running you blaming the girl and just, oh, she had this goodness nasty in my house and I'm going to you gotta go. What you calling that? I don't even want to go home to you. Shit, why you putting yourself through early? Some shit can be avoided, really and truly. It's some shit you don't even have to go through.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you'd have thought with your head instead of your head, you'd have been straight. You would have been good. You hear me? Now you went there up in a nasty house with a nasty whole pile on that nasty ass man, just there with a nasty ass sheet, you hear me? With y'all nasty asses, and now you mad. No, don't be mad.
Yeah.
Think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Correct yourself.
Yeah.
That's all you ain't gotta go through too much. You can put yourself out of some of that misery. Because that bitch loses. And next time, no better. That's all I can say. That's all I want to say to caller.
I already missed over, but man, I appreciate the call as always.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right, you have a good night too. Look, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That accent do something to me. Hey, you know. Straight up, man. Hey, look, I don't care what y'all think. And the gumbo, look, you know, Lady Honcho in California, she didn't try to do the gumbo thing. I'm just fucking with y'all. Let me stop before y'all start falsely accusing the nigga. Nah, you never had gumbo shit? Oh, man. Shit, what part of the country you in? Are you even in the country? You could be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm super picky and patient. Got to be a part of my decision to be married. I don't want to rely on my own and perfectly understand I need divine help with that major choice. Okay. So I'm just curious. Let me be a little nosy, if y'all don't mind. You know, I just want to do a tentative survey. Look, I'm finna do y'all like, see, some of y'all old like me. Y'all remember them days of AOL? I need an age check. I need an age and area of the country, if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't gotta say exactly where you can just say what state or whatever if you don't want to be too specific. And we'll go from there. Let me see, a little volume boost. Let me see, I got you. I think I got you. Yeah, there we go. We'll talk about 15%, see if that helps. Let me know how that sounds. But okay, we got 21 Savage over there in London. Okay. Yeah, look, Roman got like a old man soul and a young man body. Got a long ways to go. 37 UK already. Okay. We international. That's what I'm talking about. The international deal. But we have some fish and chips and some tea and crumpets. Yes, I would like some Earl Grey, please. Thank you. All right. 42 Texas already. Great state of Texas. Ain't nothing like the great state of Texas, man. You say you tell everything except for one ingredient. But see, it don't even be about the ingredients, because you can give two people the same ingredients and it turn out completely differently, man. It's just, like I say, man, and that's what I was talking about beforehand when I was talking about, and women, I want to know what y'all think about this. Now, this is something I've heard, and I mentioned this the other day, but I've heard women say that you should never let another woman cook for your man, because that opens up an avenue, if you will. I want to know how y'all think about that. The oldest don't like, oh man, that's tough. That is tough. Tyson. Oh man, that's tough. All right, North Carolina, come on and raise up. The Petey Pablo. Don't want to get divorced if I get married. Man, look. But you said, Broderick of House Brooks, you said about to not let another woman cook for your man because that opens up an avenue. Only his mom can feed him if not. Oh, okay. So if you don't keep a clean house, another woman cooking, the least of your worries. Ah, okay. Stay out your bedroom and out your kitchen. You mix the kitchen with the, that's some shit I ain't never. Like, I'm gonna have to get one now. Cause that's gonna make a mess. So get one of them little breakfast in bed trays. Try to set a seat, but I'm gonna have to do some customization. We need somebody. Look, we need to borrow some power tools, do some woodworking. Got an idea. Yeah, that's tough, man. Okay, so, and so better said something right though. If you made these decisions before you got with these women, you knew that, what they were doing. But I think some men, especially if you're a powerful man, you're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about the long term, especially, how relationships can be when you first get with somebody. You overlooking all the little red flags. Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, this ain't no issue. This ain't no problem. You're not really sweating it. But then once it starts, you start kind of getting into it for the long haul. You're like, hold on, man. Damn. We done been together for a year. You ain't cooked nothing yet. You ain't done nothing but shop. You know what I'm saying? You know what's terrible? You know what's terrible? Women these days have gotten to the point where they don't even want to shop. They don't even want to do real shopping. They only want to online shop. Like, people do not even want to go to the stores anymore. You know what I'm saying? Say prefer a female doesn't have to stay long enough to have to wash her hands. Already United States, Missouri. Okay. Shout out to Shannon. 27. Okay, so we got a decent age, right? I can definitely tell you that the den is growing up. You know what I'm saying? The den is definitely growing up. I'll tell you, when we started off with the Kush Den, it was a different demographic. Two things have definitely changed since the Kush Den has transitioned into just the den. And one of those things is the addition of women, which is great. That is awesome. Love to hear both sides of different perspectives. And then the second thing is the age has upgraded a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Why 40-something can't give out all the details? Okay, look, somebody might come find you. See, a lot of those powerful men were nerds in high school. They married pretty women. And I agree with that. I would agree with that. I think there's some men out there who want to have a family. They want to establish their bloodline. They want to Shaolin fantastic. What's the motherfucking deal? You know what I'm saying? Always good to see you, man. And man, last time you called, I know you was trying to get back in, and I got to find, I had to jot it down and know because you were saying something, and I'm gonna have to go look it back up. But you were killing that conversation, and I was trying to get back in, but I think you might have slid out before I got to, because the line was busy that night. I was trying to remember what it was, but it's good to see you, man. But the thing about it is, like I said, yeah, the demographic. You said you just got back from Houston. Already. You say the thing about it, like I say, the demographic of the den has changed just so much, and I'm loving where it's going. The conversation has changed. The perspectives have changed. And definitely the backgrounds have changed. So, if y'all was in the original Kush Den, y'all remember it used to be a bunch of white girls in the background smoking weed. People be like, how come ain't no black chicks in there? It'd be like 2 black chicks in the whole little thing. It was like a little montage of chicks smoking weed. I'd be lit off my ass and shit, talking crazy. Those were terrible shows, though. Those were awful, awful shows. And yeah, we just be talking crazy, just about crazy nonsense. And I mean, I'm saying not too far from some of the stuff we still talk about, but it was just a different vibe, like, and so it's changed so much now. I definitely enjoy it, and I thank y'all, everybody who has especially joined in and just definitely hopped right in and been very active. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, man. So we talked about you. Yeah, you definitely know what you're getting into. before you start fucking with a chick. And so you can blame men, but again, now like Cartier said, men just want to fuck. So about those men who don't want to establish that family line, because now you got a lot of men. You got what's that shit? The MGTOW MG men going their own way, right? And so the men going their own way, their perspective is like, you know, it's not worth it for me to get married. It's not worth it for me to have children because I'm gonna be at the losing end of it. I'm gonna be at the disadvantage of it, you know, no matter what happens. You know, if I get married and she chooses different, because I think that Aisha Curry thing opened up a lot of stuff for a lot of people. Talk about Aisha. She got everything in the world that you would think a woman could want, but yet she still wants more. And now I have nothing against somebody having ambitions. You know, hey, they have ambitions, but if what you're seeking is more attention when you're already married, you already have a family, you set for life, you know, she ain't a hideous woman. She ain't the best looking, but you've got money to fix that stuff. Your husband obviously is happy. He keep busting up in you, so obviously he's happy to continue having children with you. He supports you with everything you do. He's helped you establish your own brand, so it's not like you in his shadow, like you have your own lane without it. I don't understand what more you want Instagram attention. And so I think that right there, I've seen a lot of people, especially who responded to that, hit me up on various stuff, and a lot of men are looking at that and like, wow, you really can give a woman everything in the world and she's still not happy. And I don't know if that's a Western woman's mentality, and I'm not saying every woman, I'm just saying, you know, but there are a lot. If that's a Western woman mentality, if this is a worldwide thing now, because you see a lot of women in other countries are looking to America, that's a lot of stuff that are happening, man. So a lot of things that are happening, and so men are much more cautious now. I think as a whole, you know, it's just like, is it worth it for me to get married? Especially if I've built something up and I've created something and I have accumulated some wealth, or I've accumulated a solid, you know, nest egg or whatever else it is, depending on the woman I choose. And then, you know, like Prepaid said, for men it's mostly physical. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's questionable. You're like, why would I, you know, if I have access to all these women, you know, naturally you're gonna go for the more attractive one, because you wanna, if you do sow your seed, you know, you want your kids to be attractive, or what you perceive is gonna be attractive or anything like that, you know. So it's a tough situation. But again, you can't make somebody into something they're not. And what you got to deal with too is most women who are attractive have been treated a certain way their entire life, haven't ever really wanted for anything, so they never developed these certain skills, especially with the advent of Instagram and everything. All you got to do is show some butt cheeks on the internet and motherfuckers will cash app you some sushi, you know, and whatever else you want. I'm hungry. I want this thing. Motherfucking strangers will do it. Who was the thing? The chick that was on Tinder. She got a ticket here in America. I want to say in Las Vegas, she got a ticket. And a motherfucker from Australia paid the shit. Never met her. I don't even know if she sent him anything more than a thank you. And paid the shit for the motherfucker. Like, what? Like, how? I mean, he's lame for doing it. So, I mean, hey, you can't blame her for putting it out there, because, you know, if a motherfucker gonna do it, they gonna do it. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know about that, Heidi. I gotta charge you that. I gotta charge you for permanent damage. Prisons and institutes, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, like I said, we talk about money in relationships, and we just kind of all over the place. You know, how it changes from marriage to dating. Charlene, what is your thoughts on that? Do you have an issue? Would you have an issue dating a woman who makes more money than you? And if you've had experiences with women who've made more money, how would you describe their personality? You know, you say, wish that would happen with you. That you show your butt cheeks on the gram and people throw money at you. No, you gotta put yourself out there. Hey, look, let me tell you the formula. I've discovered what the formula is, right? You gotta have your Twitter account, And then you got to get you one of these. Man, I know what the fuck we need to talk about. And I'm going to talk about this in just a second. The world is this needs to be a dedicated video, but I'm going to talk about it here. I'll probably bring it back up later. But you got to get you a Twitter, and then you got to go get you a Snapchat account, right? And you got to have either a Cash App or PayPal or whatever, right? I'm giving you some game here. I'm giving all you ladies some game. Don't matter. Like, what y'all got to understand is it doesn't matter anymore. We talked about porn the other day. It does not matter what you look like. You will have fans. I've seen it. You will be surprised. It's just about your willingness to do stuff. And that's up to you. I can't take what it is. It's about your willingness to put yourself out there. It's women that should not be winning that are winning. It's people that are winning that should not be winning because they do sketchy shit. Anyway, here's my thing though. So you get your Cash App or your PayPal because you gotta have a way to get your money. You gotta use your Twitter for your promotion, and then you gotta put your content on the on the Snapchat, but you got to keep it blocked and private. So you only add the people who, after they pay you their money, they send you their information. Now, what you do on Snapchat is your business, all right? But you got to throw out your samples on the Twitter sphere, you know what I'm saying, so you can get you some new followers. And bam, you're gonna have motherfuckers buying you sushi on the gram or buying you sushi for showing your butt cheeks. That's how it works. Free game, free game. I need to make an ebook and charge $7 an ebook. But you say you deal with one now, she makes more money, it's cool. Okay. And would you say she has a cool personality, that she doesn't come off as bitchy? You know, some people say they come off bitchy as or controlling or whatever else it may be, you know. You're about, oh yes, end of the semester for you. Right, and I'm just about to talk about something. White persuasion. White persuasion made my heart a little sad today. Made my heart very, very sad today. So I'm gonna talk about this Snapchat filter that's going on. I'm sure, like, honestly, and let me tell you, like, how desperate men are these days, especially internet men. They're not fucking, they'd rather give you the money. You could probably work out in bathing suits or do something like that, and you wouldn't even have to get completely naked. Like, that's just what it is these days. Like, you don't have to do anything. Motherfuckers is happy for a little bit of attention. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. You say men throw money at you, think it's cool, or use a weapon as control, you're meeting two different things together. Say, while they ignore you and things become the relationship. Well, and here's the deal. Like, do women feel like if a man is kind of throwing money at you, basically for your attention or whatever, do you not feel, if he's not necessarily, I won't say deeply into you, but if it's not admiring the little things about you, would you assume that he's doing this with other women too? But I want to talk about the Snapchat filter and why I think it's going to be a problem for kids. Grown-ups doing weird shit, whatever, you know. That's what I'm talking about. You know, making an expose on Heidi for a filter. But my thing is this, right? Because you got little kids and you have people nowadays who encourage kids to be transgender and this and all this other weird stuff, right? And now you have this filter. I don't know if it goes both ways. I don't know if it's turning women into men, but I know it's turning men into women, right? And I can't get down. Like, I don't get down with Snapchat in the first place. Like, I don't fuck with it in the first place. But I've been seeing this shit floating around. And my thing is, you got a lot of little kids. We living in a world that's built to confuse them. And you got you living in a world where everything is okay. This is fine. This is dandy. And I'm not knocking what anybody does, but I think we're living in a world that is trying to influence people who wouldn't be a particular way to be a particular way. You know, I actually feel sadder for the youth growing up now because it's so much more confusing. You know, back when you was young, we had real action superheroes. We knew what, you know, the man stuff. Well, we know what it was to be a man. You know what I'm saying? What was supposed to be the masculine thing. Like, now, Shit, do they have G.I. Joe type shit on TV? They don't have action heroes on TV. They don't have masculine cartoons on television. It's everybody cartoons. And now some of the shit's funny, you know. I used to watch the little weird shit like The Regular Show and all that shit, but there's no masculinity on any of these fucking cartoons. You know what I'm saying? But back in the gap, like I talked about, what we talked about, we named about 10, 12. I saw somebody talk about the Silver Wings. I saw somebody post a thing about that after that. I need to check that out. But, you know, G.I. Joe, you talking about SWAT cats, you talking about Street Sharks, the Ninja Turtles, Biker Mice from Mars, you know what I mean? Shit, you had like those over masculine type characters. But they don't have it. Even Batman was hard, you know. Peter Parker was going through shit. X-Men was gangster, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had masculine cartoons for the children. It wasn't about this borderline weird stuff going on. Now, everybody's soft, everybody's, you know, whatever. It's like super weird shit. Now, as old folks, we know what's what. You know what it is, you laugh at it. But these younger kids who don't know, we're figuring stuff out in a world that's telling them, oh, well, you know, it's okay. Man, that Alyssa Milano thing that I was talking about too yesterday. Right? Let me tell you some shit. Let me tell you. This is how convoluted the world has become. Okay, this bitch put the thing out there talking about the sex strike. You know, hey, and somebody came to try to check her about, and she agreed to. This is how you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up 10 times. She put that bullshit out there about the sex strike. And some transgender person came and told us it's not that hard to put cisgender. You're being transphobic by not labeling straight women as cisgender. It is like, man, I wish you fucking would. I wish the fuck you motherfucker. You finna have a bad day fucking with me. Kiss my motherfucking ass. You know, fuck you and your extra labels. You know, you get the labels. I'm not finna label what's natural. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna label what is. Look, this how you got to this world. Some fucking procreation. But like I say, you know, yeah. Say what is accepted, we approve to be kind, politically correct, to be accepted for our fuck up. Hey, look, man. I don't like political correctness because I think once you open that can of worms, they they try to make you accept too much. Like, hey, certain shit I'm not fucking with, man. I'm not fucking with. No, you know what I'm saying. And I apply it across the board. Like I say, it's things that come to when we talk about race relations that most people probably not going to agree with. It's things that we come about these different sexual orientations that most people not going to agree with. Don't mean I hate anybody. I just don't agree with certain lifestyles. I don't agree with certain behaviors, certain shit that I've learned from myself from being living a particularly foul lifestyle, to understanding what makes sense and what don't make sense. And then like, hey, you know what? You know, my life improved when I made improvements. I mean, people just want to accept anything, and then they play the victim. And then anytime something goes wrong, they want to be the victim and act like everybody's punching down. Like, no, you the motherfucking boy that's oppressing everybody. Like, how you playing the victim but trying to tell somebody how they need something? Man, you got me fucked the fuck up. I'm not using no extra pronouns. If you look like what you look like, then that's what the fuck I'm calling you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with this fucking dead naming shit. Like, people are taking this shit serious, and that's how you know the fucking world is fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so... But yeah, somebody, she's like, you're right, you're right, I shouldn't have done that. I meant, you know, for, I'm like, man, fuck you and fuck everything you stand for. Kiss my motherfucking ass. That's why I know, like, that's why I say it all the time. The goal is to build the den for a separate platform, because I know eventually it's going to be a Honcho is over party. They're going to try to cancel it. They go YouTube. If enough people see enough shit, they're going to be like, nah, we ain't fucking with this nigga. Because that's why I do temper a lot of shit that I want to say, because there's definitely some real conversations I really want to get into, but I know the platform I'm on, that shit I realize what I'm doing that I just can't say, because it only takes is one thing. There's too many haters out there that want to ruin you for some old hoe shit. But no sex strikes. But my thing is saying nobody having a real sex. Yeah, that's what they asked her how long was the sex strike was. I don't know. She started talking about the Liberian women who had the sex strike and it ended the Civil War. And then she talked about some other thing. Like, this is America, right? this is America. This shit ain't working. The women want sex just as much, but other motherfuckers like, we ain't fucking with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, come on, man. You know, somebody commented on that Morehouse video, and the comment went to for review. It came up like spam, and I usually allow, if the comment ain't just a bunch of bullshit, even if I don't agree with it, I usually allow the comments. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm sitting here looking at this comment, talking about, come on, you know, most transgender women don't look like drag queens, and they don't look like this, and you can't even really, like, I hate when motherfuckers keep talking about you can't tell. Yes, the fuck you can. You could tell when a nigga was born a nigga and he tried to become a woman or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the motherfucker looks like RuPaul. It looks like any one of these. And this bitch built like motherfucking me, Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Looking like fucking Ving Rhames and Holiday Heart and shit. Yeah, you can fucking tell. I'm talking about you can. Yes, the fuck you fucking can. Because when these motherfuckers get in a traumatic situation, that voice come from, yeah, hey, it is. And you say, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, man, come on, that shit ain't no woman. It ain't womanly shit about that shit, man. Look, miss me with that shit, man. Like, kiss my fucking ass, though. Like, I don't hate nobody for whatever choices they make. I don't agree with you. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not gonna accept you. If I have to deal with a person, I'm not gonna blatantly insult you and just say, you know, if it comes up, I don't agree with your lifestyle. I may minimize my association. You know, I'm not gonna do no extra stuff. If you some type of business deal or business transaction or whatever it is, you know. And then, okay, we agree to this, you know, sign off on this. Well, hey, let's celebrate this business deal with a drink. Nah, I'm cool on that. I'm finna fucking go home. You can go drink whatever the fuck you want to. Or you can go have dinner, whatever. I'm not finna fucking do all that shit, man. Like, I'm not gonna hate you. I'm not gonna condemn you. I'm not gonna throw stones at you. I'm gonna say, hey, I disagree with this. I don't think that this benefits whatever. Like, I don't agree with the transgender track shit. It's real women who are losing out on scholarships, who are losing out on opportunity, and especially in the high school arena where self-esteem is a motherfucker. You instantly, you be a dude and instantly say, well, you running track. Now you're one of the fucking best track runners ever. As far as a female, it's little niggas in high school that'll break it. Hey, speaking of little niggas in high school, y'all seen that little white dude out here in Texas? That nigga run like a 998 or something like that. What is it, like something like in the fucking 100, something crazy. That motherfucker is fast. I'm talking about walking every nigga out there. It is not even close. I'm talking about that white boy is fucking fast. Anyway, you know, and not to make it a racial thing, but that's just a white guy, you know. Niggas is traditionally the track stars. That motherfucker there is fast, like the real fucking deal, like pulling off on motherfucker. It's not even close. It's hilarious to watch. Cause it's just, niggas is like, everything I've ever been told was a lie. Everything I've ever been told in the hood was a lie. They are fast. But my thing is this, man, you know, look, let's be honest. I want people to be honest with me. Like I said, I talk about from racism, I prefer overt over covert. You don't fuck with me, say so. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, like, you might be a man who can't, a man with no interest. Man, look, motherfuckers be out there looking like me in the face, talking about their woman. Motherfucker throw a wig on, looking like me, throw some silicone all over their body. Fuck, get the fuck out of here. I know me when I see me. You ain't fooling me, goddammit. Oh man, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hello?
Hello. Who we got calling in tonight?
Diane.
All right, Miss Diane, how you doing tonight? What would you like to drop in the den?
I was calling you about the Leah Davis case.
Okay. What's on your mind? What would you like to speak on?
Let me put this on mute. When you were showing the part when dude was coming to the house with the basket and the black bag in the basket.
Yes.
His pants where the right strip that he had blood on it. So that was evidence that he had killed a girl right there.
You know, I seen that. I was looking at that because I saw somebody mention. I was trying to tell. I couldn't tell if it was blood on the peg because it looked like it was uniform on both sides. But I saw somebody mention that. But
it was blood. It was blood on the white strip going down the pants.
Mm.
Yeah. So that was evidence right there. And
So-
then when they found the car, they had the dog to sniff the bag, and the dog smelled dead carcass in the bag.
So
That's what made them arrest him when they caught him for tampering evidence.
So what about the part you saw that he got dropped off in that same car that supposedly got stolen at the hospital? I mean, the car dropped him off. So
The car never did get stolen.
Yeah.
His brother dropped him off
So
in the same car.
okay, and that's
Yeah.
that's the wild shit about it, you know. So do you think that his brother needs to be brought in as an accomplice?
Well, his family, it was his family. He really was at his family house. His family had no idea that he had chopped his baby up. That's what they said. They didn't have no idea he had did that to that baby.
But they had to know something eventually after, you know, it was all over the news and everything that was going on, and
Yeah.
they had to know something. You know, his demeanor. If they was talking to him about it, he couldn't have been. They could have been able to tell something. I think they just want family member to go down. But sometimes, hey, you got to let them go. If they ain't no good, they'll do it.
I figured his brother had to know something.
Yeah.
Because his brother took him to the hospital. Evidently, his brother had to pick him up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he disappeared out of nowhere, and evidently his brother was taking him around. And his brother had to drop the call.
Yeah.
Or he did.
Yeah.
So he had to tell his brother something. That's why I figured.
Yeah, he did. He knew something, and his brother just tried to look out for him. But like I say, they well, what do you think about them dropping the bail from $1 million to $45,000? Why do you think they did that?
Because he told them something to make him drop it. The mom is involved too. There's other people involved. Because he told them something to make them drop their $1 million bond.
You think that he gonna try to end up setting her up?
Oh, yeah, too. But they're going to lock her up anyway because she's the mother of the child. And they look at her, regardless of what happens to that baby, she are responsible for her. So either way it go, she was going to be locked up anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like I said, it's only gonna take so long. 'Cause I think she incriminated herself after she let Quanell X start talking for her. I think that's where she fucked up when she started saying all that about.
She told on herself anyway, trying to tell on him.
Basically.
Because the girl gonna tell her, if you knew this man doing all this, why did you leave your child in the care of him, go all across the town in an airplane?
I agree.
That's told on her.
I agree.
So she told on herself.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I felt. Once I heard that, she told on herself.
And when they took pictures of that man's body, he had all these whoops all over his body. So I think he buried her in some woods.
Yeah.
Close by his job. Because this lady was showing a mouth named Tanisha Nikki. And she was showing the map where the car was found, where he worked at, where the airport, and down some miles down from his job is this, I forgot this creek called, and they number woods. So he had to bury her in some woods. But you have to go down into the woods with weeds that will just wipe you and stuff. That's how he got all the whoops on his body. And he bust his own self in the damn head. Ain't nobody bust his head. He did that himself. But yeah, I think she's right about he went down in some woods and buried her. But did he? I'm not understanding. Did he set on fire and then bury her?
I don't know. That's an interesting one to find out. I'm pretty sure he probably set it on fire first. Because if he's gonna set it on fire, he had to do it before he buried her. So probably so.
Yeah, because they seen I had gasoline in the car. I didn't know that until I saw the gasoline in the car.
Yeah, you had to.
But all that is fucked up. That's going for the baby mama. That got to be crazy. That got to be fucked up.
Yeah, that's some wild stuff. Miss Diane, you mind me asking you a question?
Okay.
Okay. Now we were
Yeah.
we were having a little conversation about marriage and relationships. We was trying to talk about that. I'd like to hear your opinion. Do you believe in traditional marriages?
Traditional marriage.
Yes.
Come on, marriage they have nowadays.
Just traditional marriages, like mainly the man's supposed to be head of the household and take care of business. Like I mean, how would you define a traditional marriage?
Um. Well, well, I'm from back in the '60s.
That's all good.
Yeah, and as they used to say, the man supposed to be working and the woman supposed to be at home. But I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I believe in them both work, and you find a daycare for your kids, or y'all take turns. Make sure your shift work back to back, and one watch the kids while one go to work, and the other watch the kids while she go to work. You make your shift work for one another to watch the kids.
Okay.
That's the way I am.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Because I don't trust daycare with my kids.
I don't blame you. I think daycares are ruining a lot of children, and I think that's why a lot of the
They
people
hurt in
do that right
daycare,
now.
yeah.
I agree.
So when I was growing up, I heard about this lady had a lady come in there and watch her kids while she went to work. And when she came home, this lady had put an apple in her baby's mouth and baked her in the oven and set her baby on the table for it to be eaten. Yeah.
Wow.
I heard about this when I was young.
Wow.
Yeah. And ever since then, I did not trust nobody watch my kids, not no daycare or calling somebody in to watch my kids.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, yeah, you see stuff like that even in the daycare. So I remember seeing one not that long ago. They talking about they had a little fight club in the daycare. Got babies fighting each other and doing all that while the people just sitting there watching and laughing. I mean, yeah, people crazy. You got to look out for your own these days. You definitely got to look out
I heard about that too. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, Miss Diane, anything else you want to add to that, Miss Diane?
Yes? What you say?
No, I was asking, is there anything else you would like to add to that?
Oh, no. I'm still waiting for the outcome of this.
Yeah, I am too. I'm just kind of patiently waiting. I see the little details coming here and there, but I'm definitely want to see what really happens in the end. But Miss Diane, I appreciate you calling in and sharing that with us.
Okay.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Ready? What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Brother Charlene, fantastic.
Man,
What's happening, brother?
How are you doing this evening, brother Charlene?
Man, I'm doing all right. Hadn't called in for a while. I got cut off last time, but I just figured sooner or later I get a chance to reiterate some of the stuff that I was saying, and what better opportunity than to talk to my brother than now?
Exactly. All right, so what's on your mind, man? What would you like to share with the people tonight?
We were talking about the Malia Davis thing, and I was actually in Houston this weekend, yesterday.
Yeah.
I was with my friend girls, her folks, and we had a good time. We had a stomp down good time, and went out and all that good stuff. And they got to talking about Malia Davis. Some of the things they said I agreed with, some of the things I didn't. And they were just, saying how the system failed her. I didn't agree with that part, what they were saying, the system failed the little girl. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I just think, the girl just had bad parents, bad step parent, all that stuff was just in a bad situation. The little girl didn't deserve that. Now, I would have probably preferred the girl would have been under CPS protection. Because she had to have brain surgery. This case just got all kinds of twists and turns and everything to it. And and I just say this, my position. I don't really get into my real position on this. I just say this. I just keep it short and sweet. Some people just shouldn't have children. That's just all there is to it. Some people shouldn't have children. If you really want me to get into it, some people just need to be sterilized. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I know that's harsh and that's hard to say, but God damn it, I don't know. We need to come up with something because, I was just talking to this with my brother, and my brother's way more hardcore than me, by the way. I told him about the den.
Yeah.
The way his schedule works, it's hard for him he knows about it. The way, he called in. If you to hear him talk, man, you probably cut him off. But, and he way more hardcore than me, man. But, some people just shouldn't be allowed to have children, man. That little girl did not deserve that. She deserved a fair chance in life. And we were discussing about how this has been happening way too much here lately over the last month and a half. Just case after case after case. I remember some kid, some guy murdered his 1-year-old son after losing in the video game. Shit like that. I mean, kids at elementary school getting killed and shit like that, man. I mean, it's just like this year has just been crazy, man. And this is May, and I was like, damn, it's crazy. Now I was even talking to my friend girl about it, and we agree on most aspects of it. And but she's down there in Houston. I was down, and by the way, regardless of what people think of me, I love Houston. I'm not a Texan fan or nothing like that. Everybody, that's a totally different subject. But me coming to Houston, oh man, 10-10. Every time I come down there, man, I have a great time. I love the people down there. They always have my Titans hat on. They make fun of me, but you know what? The people in Houston are good people. They have always treated me nice. I've never had an issue or anything down there. I love Houston. I love Dallas. I love Houston. I just don't like either one of the teams. I don't like Cowboys. Well, I hate the Cowboys. If you won't tell me to pick it between the Cowboys and the Texans, I'd fuck it. I just want to fuck Sean Watson. Fucking, I'm in there. I hate the Cowboys. But that situation is sad, man. And unfortunately, we hear about this kind of stuff way too often, man. I just think it's way too often. And a lot of people, especially like your pro-blacks, like that Shine, Quanell X, really trying to, stick up for the mother. I mean, if he was any kind of person, he would just recuse himself of all this, because this is nonsense. This shit is nonsense. And if I was him, and I was some sort of activist, I would have looked at all this shit is nonsense, and everybody need to go to jail behind this shit. And that's just all there is to it. And that's the way forward. We just gonna have to start being honest about these situations that that black folks find ourselves in. And if you a black person and you got two pennies to rub together, most black people that got two pennies to rub together, they just get the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? They just do. Yeah. I hate that, but this is the results of that. You know what I'm saying? I hate it, and it's controversial. I'll be the first to admit it's fucked up. It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has to look out for himself. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, that's what it looks like it is. It's every man for himself. Now, as far as the guy goes, me and my brother talked about this. We had a cousin like this. All he had to do, when he went back to his parents, and just say, "I didn't do it." And with his mama. If he had a dad in his life, dad wasn't gonna put up no shit like that. Yeah. But I didn't do it. Mama did it. I ain't do it, and mama gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying? And the last caller you had on, the lady, she was dead on. She was right on. When you asked her about marriage and things like that, I talk a lot about marriage and stuff like that. How marriage is no longer existing anymore, but it was the better way. Kids in a 2-parent household, it was the better way. Yeah. It's the better way. I mean, even though I do believe that marriage is dying a slow death, it was the better way. But people have chosen that they don't want to be married. They don't want to be in a relationship. That's why we got all these baby mamas out here. We got all this crazy stuff. Is baby mamas bad in every instance? No, there's instances where people work it out and they raise functionally good children. But for the most part, what we're seeing is a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. In the 60s, where your last caller grew up, our families were much more functional, and that's just the bottom line. I mean, you can't deny. No, I don't even think the most ideologically blinkered person could even deny that in the 60s and the 50s, where black people had much more functional families. It just was. You can't get around it. Was it perfect? Of course not. Nobody's saying that. But Is it better than it was now? Yeah, it's definitely better than it is now. I can name out a million different ways, but I ain't gonna go into all that. What do you think, brother?
Man, I agree. And what you said, as far as just that with the baby mama situation and how as people are showing that they don't want to get married, you know, I think it's like I don't want to say a cause and effect, but you know, you make a few bad decisions. So you have, you know, the women who have, you know, 2 or 3 baby daddies, and they kind of realize, they kind of get their stuff together, and then they want this marriage. I know some personally good friends of mine. I try to tell them, hey, your situation is going to be tough. And then now they kind of got it together. Now they want to marry. I'm gonna be like, it's going to be hard for you because you got 2 or 3 kids, you know, with different multiple baby daddies, and you know they ain't the most upstanding citizens. It's gonna be hard for you to find a man that wants it. It's gonna be hard for you to build that family aspect now, you know, as opposed to if you held out, and then you know you got issues with, they say, with women who you know wait before they have kids and things like that. But I agree, just the whole family aspect. And so again, you have a lot of these kids end up getting raised up without a father, and then you got a lot of questionable activities that go on, from the way people are embracing the sexuality now to the street life to who they are looking up to. And like I said, all of it is negative. But like you said, back in the 60s.
Let me ask you something about the street life.
Okay.
Because you know, I've had this discussion with a couple of brothers that's around my age, and I'll always say my age. I'm 45.
Yeah.
You know, I'm much older. I've shuffled off of much of my royal coil and you know, things that I done in the past and things like that. Do you really believe that there's actually a street life now? I'm talking about when let me explain what I mean. When I was growing up, the street dudes kind of had a code.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And if they did something, let's say if they, you know, committed a murder or let's just say sold some dope or whatever they did. It seemed to me when I was growing up, those cats owned up to it. I got much more respect. I like, you know, I got a partner of mine. You know, me and him cool. You know, I don't run with him or nothing like that. But he just got out of prison about 8 months ago. And every now and again he called me up. He cool cat. He done straighten up somewhat. You know, he got him a job. He said he ain't going back and all that. And he doing his thing. He doing the best he can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I will try to help that brother out. But never does he try to justify or things he did. What he did, he owned up to it.
Yeah.
And he straightened. I said, I fucked up. You know, he got a son, and he said, I missed out on most of my son's life, and I'm trying to rectify that, and I'll be trying to rectify that till the day I'm gone. And I had to respect that. You know what I'm saying? I had to respect that because to me, he owned up to it. You know what I'm saying? He owned up to it, and I will say that. But now the street life now that's not really street. We just got a bunch of just ignorance running around here, just doing whatever. And then when they get in trouble, they call mama. I ain't do it, you know, and shit like that. Or they try to just dumb shit. Try to weasels. This is a bunch of weasels nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I say right now you got a bunch of emotional men with guns, or emotional young men with guns, because a lot of them, they have their mama's tendencies. They're very emotional. They get mad. It's not about respect. It's just if their feelings get hurt and they don't like the fact their feelings get hurt, they want to shoot you up or they want to do whatever. And then when it comes time to, you know, pay the consequences, you know, then it's a whole different story. They're not, like you said, they're not owning up to what they did. They're not, and it's not about nothing. You talked about a code. There is none of that, you know, because I would say that back then, you know, there was a certain area, there was a certain part of town where things would go down. You know, now they do it in front of their mama house, do it in front of their grandma house. They don't care where it's at. They in the middle of the street with it, you know, wherever it may be. Like I say, it's just it's a whole different breed. But would you attest to that being, say that, you know, a lot of guys that were in that street life that may have gone to prison not being there to pass that down or set that example, so you had a bunch of youngsters who were just emulating what they thought it was, or would you say the movies may have had an impact on it? What do you think changed that?
Well, you know, that is a, you know, byproduct of it. I mean, they did contribute to it because that's what we got now is the bastards running around. But, you know, I would say at least, you know, they feel a bit of remorse behind it. You know what I'm saying? Not all, but some of the guys that I know, they feel a bit of remorse behind, you know, the kind of shit that they left behind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about the street dudes that was real street. You know what I'm saying? It's to me, it was a separate kind of thing. You know, street dudes knew who the straight dudes were. Straight dudes knew who the street dudes were, and it was kind of a respect, and you could kind of distinguish that. But now, like I said, now, you know, if a dude says street, I mean, you need to get away from it. And what you have now is you have women that are procreating with these cats. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's leaving a big mess. I mean, these women are steadily having kids. I mean, now they're not having as many kids. I think by the numbers, everybody's not having that many kids no more. But what I'm saying is, you know, what we got now is just, you know, people shitting out kids. I'm just being honest here. People shitting out kids and letting them roam the earth with no guidance. You know what I'm saying? With no guidance. And I pray to the Lord every day. I thank the Lord every day that I had a father, and my father's still alive, by the way. My father and my mother still alive. You know, I talk to my dad all the time. You know, my dad, when he was growing up in Chicago, because I was born in Chicago, and he was growing up in Chicago, my dad talked about it all the time, about how the street was and all this stuff. They knew the streets and the squares and stuff like that. They didn't lay a finger on the squares, unless the square just got way out of line. They didn't lay a finger on them. You know what I'm saying? Street shit was left for street shit. It was a code. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it went. You know. But now there's just ain't no code, and there's no honor. There's no honor. You know. And it's just anything goes. If you find yourself in that, you know, in that area, hey, get the fuck out of there. I tell young kids all the time. You know, if you're in the hood and you ain't really fucked up that bad, go to the military, man. You know, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear that as black folks, but I say, look, man, you know, you run just as big of a risk in the military as you would, well, probably bigger risk on staying on the street. Go to the military.
It's funny because I remember you saying something like that, and I was thinking about that, and you know, especially if you're in one of them environments where you, like you said, there's a lot of gunplay, there's a lot of nonsense going on. So if you gonna be living in that environment, if you can see yourself in that environment because you can't get out or whatever, why not go spend, you know, 4 years or whatever in the military and at least get some benefits for it? If you're gonna be living that kind of lifestyle, you might as well get some training, get some benefits for it. If you're gonna be feeling like you're risking your life, why not? You know, why do that instead of being in a neighborhood where you ain't getting nothing for it but jail time? And it's funny that, you know, niggas will be willing to go do 5 to 10 for some street shit, for some, you know, what they call, like you said, it ain't really like that no more, for what they call respect or whatever you want to call it in the streets, or some dumb shit. When you can't go, you know, spend 4 years, you tell them 4 years in the military, they're like, nah, fuck that, I ain't trying to hear that. But they'll do all the jail time in the world because that's what we value as, you know, I guess what you would call that rite of passage or whatever else, however you want to identify it. You know, like that has some value in the streets, but the streets don't love you. None of that shit matters, as opposed to going and establishing your life by going to the military, doing something if you have no other options, or 4 years of college if you can go to college, or whatever else it may be. You know, so
or get a trade, get a trade. You know, get a trade. You know, get something that will benefit you, like heating and AC. You know, or things like, or IT, you know, I mean, that's where the direction of the world is going in, you know, and that what I classify as, and not just me, everybody does, the fourth industrial revolution. If you're not up on IT, you know, that's where black folks, young black kids need to be focused on, like a laser beam, you know, is the fourth industrial revolution, which is IT, computers. And you know, those type of things. And the military offers that. And even if you didn't have that trade in the military, they'll give you a college money to go study that, you know, on the outside when you get out, or you do 4 years or whatever, or make it a career. You can make the military a 20-year career. A lot of guys I know did 20 years. They get their retirement at 38, 39 years old. Get their retirement, and then they got another job. They got things to go to, you know. And I don't understand this debasement of the military. I just don't, because I was in the military myself. I was in the Navy, and I don't understand it, man. I think that, You know, if you don't have nowhere to go, if you're lost and you're at a certain point in your life, the military should be an option if you ain't got nowhere else to go. If you got other options, then exercise those options. But if you don't, you know, you can go to the military. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's better than what we got going on now. What we got going on now is carnage.
Yeah.
You know, let's go to the military, get some structure going on, and let's do this. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of black men out here that these black women can choose. They just don't. They just call these guys lame and, you know, procreate with the guy that, you know, that they deem sexy, and then they end up paying for it in the end. And then we see this shit with this young child. Yeah, I mean, do you think a disciplined man that was a stepfather, a disciplined man that been to the military? I'm not saying it's not 100%, nothing's 100%, but a disciplined man that was in the military that valued life would have done this to that girl? I'm just saying the chances would have been a lot lower had she selected a man like that. You know what I'm saying? A man that had some sort of discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it just seemed like one of these guys that, you know, that we see all the time. Just ain't got no discipline, no nothing. Just, you know, when I get mad, I'm just gonna kill somebody. You know what I'm saying?
But shit, does she need some discipline too? Because it seemed like she didn't have, what is that? I don't know. I think each kid was from a different. She had what, 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. So each kid.
Yeah, something like that. It's like you know, different baby mamas and stuff like that. Now, I don't advise any guy to get involved with. Well, look, listen. This is my thing. I'm not hard on nobody or nothing like that. If you get with a woman that got kids, you know, or things like that, I advise you to look into that situation because, you know, like, if you were with a woman, let's say she had all her kids by, like, one guy, or, you know, let's say she had her kids within a structured environment, maybe married. She doesn't have to be married. It could be that they were just together for a long time, didn't work out. Yeah, okay. You know, she was a woman that proved that she could be in a long-term relationship, that she wanted that. But if you got a woman that's out here all willy-nilly, I'm talking about the willy-nilly shit.
Yeah.
You know, everybody always gets on me because they say, well, you don't like single mothers. That's not me. I'm saying, you know, if you were in a situation, I dealt with a woman. I had a woman I dealt with for years, and she was a single mother, but her husband, she was married, and her husband got killed, right? Died in a car accident. And I dealt with, she had a daughter, and I dealt with her for years. And I was willing to, hey, in a situation like that, she couldn't help that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't nothing that she could help. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you talk about we can't lump everything together. There's separate situations. You know, a woman that did that, you got to suffer the consequences of your actions. You know, guys may not want to. I'm talking about guys that's worth their salt. Ain't gonna want to deal with a woman who went all willy-nilly and had, you know, got 5 kids by 4 different baby daddies. A guy that worked hard his whole life ain't trying to deal with that. You know, and I you know, if you know, it got hot and heated one night and you got pregnant, okay, and then you decided you didn't want to. You got 1 kid, okay, all right. We can talk business. You know what I'm saying? But if I run up on you and you got 5 kids or 4, hey, I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm not trying to do that. I know that's hard to hear to a lot of people. That's hard to hear. But I'm not trying to do that. Now, what you can do in a situation when you got a situation like that, you can turn it around. You know, get those kids to, you know, a strong male figure in your family if you can, if you got that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what can be done. You know, I honestly, I'm at a loss for words at this point in history. You know, we're in 2019, and every man for himself. It's sad, I weep, you know, for it, but I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, all I can do is take care of me. You know what I'm saying? The woman I deal with now, she lives in Houston, and the woman I deal with now, you know, she ain't got no kids. And she said if me and her would ever have kids, she thinks that I would be a suitable father. You know, and I would be if If something ever happened and she got pregnant, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying, for my child, because that's the way I grew up. I grew up in a 2-parent household. My mom and dad was there for me, and there's no way in hell that I wouldn't be there for my. I will make every effort to be under the same roof
Exactly.
for my child. You know,
Exactly.
I will make every effort for that. You know.
I agree. Man, and that's how it
Yeah,
should be.
so,
But that's why I say I can't understand. Because, like I say, the situation, like how you mentioned about the lady you were dealing with, that's kind of the situation I'm in now. You know, my old lady, she has a daughter, but her child's father passed away. So, you know, because I'll be honest with you, you know, after the thing, you know, I had a different situation and chick that I was with for quite some time. And when she ended up passing away, 'cause she got sick and passed away. And, you know, I was like, man, I don't have no kids. I'm not trying to deal with anybody with no kids. But, you know, I observed some things. I watched how she, you know, dealt with her daughter, the way she was raised, her behavior, you know, things like that. After a while, that's after talking to her for a while before the whole, you know, implementation of the daughter and stuff. And so I was like, okay, you know, well, maybe this is something that we can work with. And then, you know, as things went along, you know, and I started to kind of put my input into the situation, and she was receptive to that, you know, because you have some of these parents out there, you know, the child is any and everything, and they don't want to hear nothing you have to say that may be, you know, contradictory to their beliefs about the child or whatever else it may be. Oh, you know, they can't do no wrong. You know, hey, you know, sometimes, you know, discipline is important and things of that nature. She was receptive to that. And so that's when I was like, okay, you know, this is something that we can work with. But it's just as far as if this was to not work or fall through, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that I would entertain it again. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but as me being a man and having to so far chosen my life that I don't want to have any kids, right? I have not had any, because like I said, I did plan to have children with the woman that I was initially with that passed away. But now I don't see it as a thing, especially the world we live in, the crazy shit that goes on. It's just like, you know, we'll just see where this journey takes me. But if this was to ever
but I mean,
fall
you
through,
know, I mean, in a case by case scenario, you know, your situation doesn't, you know, don't sound bad. So like you evaluated the situation, and you know, you said, okay, you saw, you peeped how everything was going on, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. You know, I know. Okay, I'll give you an example. I had a coworker of mine. You know, she was married. I met her husband. I met her husband and everything. He was cool cat. You know what I'm saying? And he died in a car accident. I mean, in a motorcycle accident. About, what is it now? What month is May? He died July last year, right?
Yeah.
And he died in July last year. Okay, she had 2 kids within the confines of that marriage. You know, and you know, I talked to her. She quit the job. She quit after all that happened or whatever. You know, because she wanted to, you know, family situation, of course.
Yeah.
And you know, she had been contacting me, and we had been talking. I told her, I said, look, I'm talking to somebody right now, but I was honest with her, and I said, you know, this and that. But hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. She got 2 kids, and they like 13 and 16, something like that.
Yeah.
And man, I would consider being with her. You know what I'm saying? I would, but I'm dating somebody right now. I would consider being with her. You know what I'm saying? Because she did all that within the confines of a marriage. It was a situation that she couldn't help. You know, the husband died.
Yeah.
He was a cat. I met the cat. The cat was. I mean, he was cool. We had all went out one night and we was drinking and all this stuff. They're from New Orleans.
Okay.
And you know, and, I mean, you know how they get down. You know, I mean, it's cool. Cat. I actually hated that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But man, I would in a minute. You know what I'm saying, with her, because you know, she's a family oriented kind of chick. And my point being, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on the situation. You know, she wasn't all willy-nilly out there with it. And, yeah, I would definitely consider that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? And she's definitely what I like physically. But at this point in my life, man, all that lying and all that, you know, I don't do any of that anymore, man. I tell people straight up what my situation is. I be like, look, this is what I'm in right now. I got a chick down in Houston. Me and her cool. You know, she even knows about my YouTube page. She be talking about dogs, and she disagrees and agrees with some of the stuff I say, but she cool. I mean, it's all good, man. It's all good, you know. And but you know, it's just this that situation. I hate it, man, because that's not black people. The vast majority of black people, that's not. and I hate that it gets blown all out. You know, that every black person is not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I hate it, but you know, we're portrayed that way. But I do have to call it like I see it. There is a lot of bullshit that goes on with us. There's a lot of bullshit that goes on with us, but nobody ever talks about the good part because there are good fathers. There's a lot of good great black fathers. You know what I'm saying? And nobody ever talks about it. You know what I'm saying? You know. But I hate that happened to that young lady, to that little girl. She seemed to be a sweet girl, and she did not deserve that. And it's terrible, man. It's terrible. She deserves better parents than that. I believe that the mother, dirt bad. And no, you know what nobody ever talks about here?
What's that?
Where's the real father at?
Man, let me tell you about that dude. He's questionable in my opinion, not in the sense that he has something to do with it, but I'm wondering why he didn't get control of the child after the first CPS situation, and you know his side of the family, because he did an interview, and I'm trying to figure. I don't know if it's his family. I don't know if this is a new girlfriend or whatever. But he just had it bothered me because he had people just hanging all over him while he's talking to the news. And I'm like, why are y'all doing, like, are y'all really just this desperate to get some camera time? The news is talking to him.
That's what I was about to say. A lot of these Negroes just want attention. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, look at the father that she chose for me. A lot of these people just want attention. You know what I'm saying? And if that was my daughter and some shit like that, now that to me is where they're going to prison over. You know what I'm saying? I go to prison over some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing
I wouldn't be talking to no camera. That guy that did that, if that was my daughter, if that guy that did that would not know 1 day's rest. I wouldn't even have time to be talking to no camera. I'd be trying to figure out a way to get to that dude.
But he said he met with him. That's what I don't understand. That's why I say it wouldn't have been no meeting. Or that'd have been it. It
wouldn't have been no. If I'd have saw that dude, if I had a clear path to him, he would be dead. I'd have cut his throat. And then I would have waited for the cops to get there, and I'd say, okay, it's time for me to go to prison. And in the story. And they would have been interviewing me from a jail cell. That's how that would have went. That's just all there is to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's all there is to it. I would not have none of this. That guy would not have never known a day's rest till I saw his dead body shaking in convulsions from me cutting his throat. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. You know, and that's the way you're supposed to be with your kids. Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. First of all, if I'd have talked to that guy before, you know, all this happened, and I'd have talked to him, I probably better peep that out, and then I would have went for custody right in and there. I'd be like, nah, ain't no way in the world. I'm gonna have my baby around some bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know. Exactly. You know. But I hate that happened to that young lady, to the little girl, because I mean that hurts my heart. And when I was down in Houston, you know, it was all over the news when I was down there. And you know, I really hate that happened. My heart goes out to that girls, to that young lady's family. It really does. Yeah. I hate that, and that is just some bullshit to the highest order. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And she didn't get she hit the unlucky lottery, because it just seemed like that whole family didn't give a shit. It seemed like the grandma knew something, but you know, the problem with families is, yeah, we love each other. We don't want to see each other, you know, go down. But sometimes, hey, you gotta say something for the betterment.
Let me tell you something my mother told me. My mother told me a long time ago. She said, "Listen, you know, I love you to death. But if you ever do something like commit a murder or something like that, or you kill somebody, you know, unjustly, or on some dumb shit, you know, something like that, you're on your own, bro.
Yeah.
You're on your own. I can't stand behind something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Same shit.
Yeah. My mother told me that, and my dad was 100% behind it. No, we don't get down like that. Yeah. If you do some shit like that, you're on your own, and whatever comes to you, that's just what you get. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get. I'm not gonna stand behind no dumb shit like that. Yeah. You know, and even when I was a kid, you know, when I was in elementary, stuff like that, my mom used to always wonder why, you know, whenever I got straight A's, because I was a pretty good, decent student. But, you know, whenever I used to get in trouble, and the kids, you know, and the teacher would come back and tell, like, all the stuff I did, then I would have an objection. And she would always wonder, why all of a sudden you got an objection when the bad stuff come in, but when all the good reports come in, oh, you don't hear nothing from you. So it's time for you to, it's time for you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something ain't adding up here. That's what my mom equations was. My mom equation was like that. Whenever it was good, you ain't had no objection. Everything was all good. But when the teacher came back and said you was cutting up, all of a sudden she lying. No, she ain't just lying. Just lying. She just decided to lie today, huh? Okay, all right. Yeah. Come on over here. We got this belt over here for you. Come on, let's go on and handle this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. Man, that's funny. But yeah, my mom was the same way though. She would say, hey, look, yeah, you say, I still love you, but I'm not gonna support you in no shit like that. I'm not gonna come see you in jail if you go down for some foolishness, anything like that. She's like, you always be my child, but if you do something like that, I'm not gonna be behind it. I'm not gonna, so I understand. She's like, hey, ain't no way, 'cause she ain't raised me like that. Yeah. That's a good question. So
I ain't gonna hold up your line, brother. I know you got some more people calling in. I just want to drop that in on the day and the night. I'm glad to go back and forth with you like that, and hit you with just a little bit of what I think about the situation. You asked me earlier about a woman making more money than you.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, in my situation. The chick I deal with, she does make more money than me, and I am a high earner, by the way. I earn over $80,000 a year, and my girl makes more than that. You know what I'm saying? She got properties, not just in Texas, all over, and she does well for herself. But the reason I don't have a problem with it is because all that crazy talk, like we was talking about, want to talk crazy to you or something like that just because she make more money than you. Oh, she knows I make enough. Yeah. I make enough. When she starts doing that, I just leave. I'm like, hey, okay, well, you know what? It seems to me you got everything handled, and you need to go find you a guy that's gonna put up with that. She already know that about me. She already know that I would do that, and it ain't no thing. But we don't even get into stuff like that. We don't even get into it. We just enjoy each other's company. Yeah. She's a good. Now, I don't even want to get into the bad part because we don't really have too many bad parts. We have good experiences with each other, and she does make more money. I freely admit that she makes not that much more. Yeah. It ain't like a big difference, but me and her, she does make more money than me. She don't brag about it. Like, I make more money than you, nigga. She don't do that, but she does make more money than me. She's a type like this, and I get this. I'll say that I'm lucky in this aspect. She's very, very frugal, man. Mm-hmm. She makes this money, and then I remember one time I took her out to Papa Seafood. You know what I'm saying? I spent a whole bunch of money, man. I spent like $130. You know what I'm saying? So one night, we had been drinking out at the house, whatever, and we were just joking around. And I said, "Girl, I just spent $130 from that." Yeah. You want to know what she said to me? Shut me right up. I ain't gonna even lie. She said she got a way of shutting you up. She don't just, just come out all crazy with it. She ain't do none of that. She was real calm about it, and she was real cool with it. She said, "Listen, I ain't tell you to take me out here. I'd have been cool with a Subway sandwich. You know how I get down. I give me a little Subway sandwich, and we be at the house, we watching movies, and I'm cool with that. You decided you want to come out here and get you some seafood and all that, and you've been acting. And you know what I said? I said, you're right. I can't say nothing. I said, you're damn right. I can't say a damn word. I was the one that suggested all this, and I said, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go somewhere and sit down and shut my damn mouth and just take this money that I spent and just look at like a damn fool. You know what I'm saying? But I got to say she got me on that one. She got me on that one because she is cool. She's not one of these type of people that got to go out to this person, go out to that. She one of these types that's always looking for a deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember one time she took me out to the Motown Review. Y'all have like this Motown Review kind of thing. Y'all have once a year at that big ass park down there. And she took me out to that joint, and that shit was free. And she paid for everything, like all the drinks. You could bring your liquor and stuff down there. I had a good time, man. I think Mays and Frankie Beverly was down there, but they had all these performing all these Motown hits and shit down there. And man, I'm talking about that was a great time. But she don't do no expensive stuff. No, Talking about going to concerts that cost like $100 and something.
Yeah.
She ain't doing that. You know, she ain't doing that. No, sir. She's very, very frugal. Very, very, very frugal, man. I'm like, damn. If she's so frugal, it make me say, damn. You know, I got to like, you know, get on her level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but she cool like that. But I ain't gonna hold you line up that much, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take care of it. I just thought I'd contribute that to the den tonight. You know, I believe I'm a den. I'm one of the dancers now. I'm one of the bad folks.
Yeah. Now, you know, you've been holding it down for a long time, Charlene. It's always good to hear from you. It's always good to chop it up because I love hearing what you think, man, because you always bring some very valid opinions to the den, man, and I always appreciate that.
All right, brother. I'll holler you later.
All right, man. You have a good night. Shout out to Brother Charlene. I think we'll make that the last call. I got a couple of things I do want to address, though. We're gonna talk about a couple of points he made when he was talking about. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I kind of had to contradict myself in my own thoughts or counter my own thoughts. So I would say, you know, you got a lot of these mothers with children. He was talking about, you know, put them in male role models for your family and stuff like that. And I was thinking about some of these coaches and things, but even now, you know, because coaches used to be the next best thing. If you didn't have, you know, you're trying to put them in a sport, you know, to teach them some discipline, you know, as far as that's what football was good for. But, you know, now they softening everything up with that. A lot of these parents don't even want you to tell their kids that they wrong, you know, that their kids ain't doing this. They don't want you to really discipline their kids and tell them, you know, this, that, or third. You got kids in college now, they crying and calling home to their parents. Well, they made me run laps today. Oh, you know, and shit like that. You know, which is super unfortunate. You can't even discipline the kids these days. And so, I got to check out that Motown Review thing too, because that's something I definitely have to look at. Talking about the functional family, and I agree. You know, things may have not have been all around as accessible, but I think you had better people. And then as certain things, as certain legislation started changing, we saw how quickly the black family has demise, and that's a sad deal. I saw Soul been asking about old buddy, you know, and that's probably a good reason. That's why I say, that's why I'm just kind of looking at his situation and like, why wouldn't the kid given to him? You know, it could be a multitude of things, but shit, look, if he ain't, like I said, like Charlene said, ain't no way that man would have been in my presence, man, and he wouldn't have never made it to Harris County. You know what I'm saying? He would have never made it to. We wouldn't be talking about his bail. It wouldn't have been no $1 million bail. It wouldn't have been no $45,000 bail. Not for him. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Not my flesh and blood. It's crazy, man. Let's see. Couple other things. Let me see. I'll say something about the news clip. Yeah, man, like I say, it's like, what killed me about this news clip, man, is he's talking, and then it's just a chick just draped on, hanging on his shoulder, doing all this. Like, you couldn't get out the camera for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I just got to show that I'm here showing so much support. Then, in the next scene, it's a different chick leaning on him, and then that original chick is leaning on her. It's like, what is this? A fucking Sympathy Soul Train line? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they came and interviewed this man, but y'all steadily trying to find your way into the fucking camera. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with the nonsense, man. Like, it ain't no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no fucking way at all. But he knew that, like, he may not have known what happened to him, but he knew that man did something to his kid. He knew that for a fact. But again, like I said, the mama need to be thrown away. The grandma need to be thrown away. Even though she's the only one that told him to take the baby to the hospital. But then if that's the case, you knew your daughter wasn't shit. You should have been suggested for CPS to come get her. I know you love your grandchild or whatever else, man, but you gotta be willing to, like, this is a big belief that I have. Like I said, I ain't always been of this mindset. I've definitely changed as I've learned things. As I grow older, I've observed, and certain things only make sense. And I'm not saying throw all the niggas away and do all this other shit. But if a motherfucker's not trying to grow and make progress, if a motherfucker's not trying to be better, and they content, they want to keep it real and never change and never grow, never learn, man, you got to distance yourself from them kind of people because they don't do anything but hold you back. They only going to bring you back to the same old bad habits. They only going to bring you back to the same old bad beliefs. Man, look, I've been through a lot of shit. I've learned a lot. And if I could go back and tell my younger self, I'd have told myself to stay on a certain path, but you can't do that. So you got to make the adjustments right now. And it's just certain shit as a grown man I can't condone. Like, I can't condone certain foolish behaviors. Like, we as black folks, man, love my people, but we embrace stupidity, justify it, and then blame others for the shit that we embracing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to figure out too. How she ain't arrested? Like, you willingly let that man go back to, or you willingly let that baby go back to a man you said you believe was molesting her, was beating on her, but you never turned him in. You know, accomplice then. You know, you never said it. You threatened him with taking the baby to the hospital. How do you threaten like that? Ain't no threat. If the baby's hurt, then you need to take her to the fucking hospital, and he need to go to jail. It ain't no. That shit right there baffles my. And the fact that Cornell X, like, you know, like as I told you, I talking about them poverty pimps, them poverty preachers, them niggas who only show up when it's like, I don't know why he got himself in this, because it's a lose-lose. Like, it's a lose-lose in this situation. You know, I can see when you come with you try to jump in the police racist type case and all that shit. I can see that, you know, where you got the game. But you defending somebody that everybody feels is guilty. You know what I'm saying? That everybody, even the people, they was at the courtroom today talking about she a murderer, she guilty, why she not in jail? At the stepdaddy's hearing, right? She still ain't saying nothing. The reason she don't want to say nothing because she don't want them skeletons to come flying out of her mouth. She fuck up and jumble up them words and continue to incriminate herself. She incriminated herself, in my opinion, by letting old buddy talk for her. Because the shit he said for her fucked it up. And so, you know, I agree. At least endanger the welfare of mine, I agree. And that's what I'm saying. But again, it is what it is. But let me see. So average mind frame of a lot of couples today is going broke, keeping up with the jump. Yeah, man, look, fuck all that, man. Like, you better do what you can afford. Look, you better get you, like Charlene said, get you a chick that loves some Subway. Get you some Subway sandwiches, you know. Ladies, if your man wants Subway, better check make sure he ain't using that Snapchat filter. You might have your Jesse on your hand, so you got to be careful. You got to do a double check. If you're a lady trying to fuck with a nigga, he wants the Subway, you got to double check. You got to make sure you ain't got the wrong kind of Subway. Not because he's a F word frugal. It might be a different kind of F word that you might not have been intended to get involved with. You know, some women don't want the frugal. Some women don't want the other F. I'm gonna leave it at that. This is YouTube. They will can me. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I hate Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. Now we got the fast over there. That nigga. So, you know, they fly when they dropped it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They dropped the bond, like from fucking $1 million bond to $45,000. I'm telling you, I believe he even said something. Hey, I'm gonna work with y'all. She in on it too. I'm gonna help you. You know, I think she's been helping him out the whole time. Honestly, I believe that she didn't look. I believe that she's been passing along some information. I believe that she's been saying some shit the whole fucking time to keep him. Ain't no way you say all this shit now, but when you first came out, you was defending that man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you were defending that man out the gate, and then all of a sudden, a couple of days later, you know, it's this, that, and the third. Yeah. No, yeah, he working with the people. Come on. Because they originally, I think the DA originally asked for $500,000. Judge said, "Now let's go ahead. We gonna double up. It's a double day. We gonna hit you with $1 million." They was I think he had a court appointed at first, and they was asking for a $5,000 bond. So ain't no way that all of a sudden it get dropped from $1 million with like yesterday or the day before, whatever it was, and then now it's $45,000. You know what I'm saying? You telling me from having to pay $100,000, you got to get that 10%. So having to come up with $100,000 Now you only got to come up with 4,500. Shit. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. There's a lot of these shootings that I don't get behind everything. You know, I look at the facts. I look at what's what. I understand being a policeman is a difficult job, and I'm not caping for them either because you signed up for it. But I'm gonna tell you that one I really ain't cut for is that little youngster that was back in the backyard playing with the pellet gun. And because the lawman said, I think it's a pellet gun, or I think it's a cap gun, because they heard him shooting it off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then he peeked through the gate talking about dropped the weapon and then shot the little nigga, man. I think shot the little nigga like 4 times. Said he was like Viper 33. I think it's just a cap gun. You know, I'm gonna go over and check it out. And then, yap, yap, yap. Wow, Snapchat don't turn over evidence with these. Wow, that's why they doing the premium snaps. Oh, look, hey, look, that's the link nowadays. Get your premium snap. You know what I'm saying? Look, they ain't gonna turn over no evidence. You wild now, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, that TikTok shit, that Snapchat shit, that's all pervert shit. Anything that's trying to cartoonerize and do all that other shit, man, that's pervert central. You know what I'm saying? They had the master TikTok molester. He was in there sending all kind of shit to little girls. That motherfucker looked like Uncle Fester and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that nigga was out there talking to 14, 15-year-old girls. I mean, fuck all that. I don't see the motherfuckers liking young hoes. Like, I do not like younger women. I can't. Look, man, I don't give a fuck. Maybe it's more. Look, let me correct that. I do not like younger women's personalities. I could not fucking deal with it. There's no fucking way that I could deal with that bullshit. Yeah, bro, it might look good, but I ain't trying to hang out with you. I'm not trying to entertain your company. Ain't none of that shit. Look, I'm gonna be frustrated within 5 minutes because we ain't gonna have shit to talk about. We just be in the phone. Breath smell like hot Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't deal with that type of shit. I don't got the patience. Like, you know, a lot of y'all be like, oh man, Honcho, you know, you be patient on the calls, you be this, and this. It's one thing, you know, operating in this environment. When, you know, you just dealing with a person. I have a low tolerance for patience. I have a low tolerance for like ignorance. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, you know what I mean? Like, if we having a conversation back and forth, that's fine, but just dumb shit, like I get, man, I get aggravated fast. Real fast, you know, but I'll be cooler. I don't, you know, it's just exceptionally dumb shit. Now, if you make a mistake, people make mistakes and do stuff. I make mistakes, you know, but when you just blatantly stupid and you deliberately trying to push the buttons, man, I'm not gonna tolerate that shit, man. If I have like access to get physical, I'm not talking about beating up nobody. Just, you know, I'm either remove my presence, I'm gonna remove your presence. Like, we finna make some adjustments here because I'm not finna listen to no nonsense for that long. But here's the deal, man. I appreciate y'all. We're finna get ready to wrap it up. Hey, we're gonna be back at it tomorrow night, same Den time, same Den channel. Make sure you follow the Den Show on all the proper social medias at Den Show Live on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow my personal social medias, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Man, I fucks with y'all. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the calls. Shout out to Miss Diane. I don't know where she came from, but she tuned in. She chopped it, gave y'all some game on how to handle that marriage. So shout out to Miss Diane. But like I said, I'm your host, Ed Honcho. Hey man, if you liking the channel, you know, support. You can go to streamlabs.com/The Den Show if you want to make a one-time donation. If you want to continue supporting on a month, consider supporting on a monthly basis. Go to patreon.com/The Den Show. If you're looking for the Den merch, you know what I'm saying, you can hit the link in the description below. I added a couple of new things. I got a couple of more designs I'm gonna add tomorrow. So shout out to Soul Better. I appreciate the purchase. But I got a couple, and I still got them shirts. I told you I was gonna do a little giveaway because all them shirts I ordered for myself, they really too big now since I've been on my little weight loss kick. So I'm gonna figure out something. I got 4 shirts that I'm gonna send to the ladies, and I ain't sending y'all niggas shit because that shit's suspect. But y'all, you know, y'all can have them as sleep shirts or something like that. So I got 4 shirts I'm gonna send to the ladies. I still ain't figured out what I'm gonna do with that. How I'm gonna come about that, you know, because I know we got some new folks. I know we got some OG folks, so I got to make a decision on that. But I think I have an idea who I'm gonna shoot one to. I ain't gonna tell y'all who, because they did something, and I don't know if anybody peeped it. I don't think anybody peeped it, so I ain't gonna say. So if I shoot your message, make sure you answer it. But with that being said, man, hey, I fucks with y'all. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. If any new updates come on in the Malia case, we're gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna check out some other stories I know folks been sending me. I'm gonna get on those tomorrow. I appreciate all y'all, man. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Hey, y'all ain't got to go home, Jack. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. I'm gonna be in the chat stealing all your pistachios. I'm gone. I'm stealing and I'm pimping everybody in the chat. Whoever get caught sleeping, well, that's on you. Who got that? Goddamn Heidi. I can't see. Heidi got the code to the bot. I'm finna take Heidi wrench. She done fucked it all up. And I'm out.